Rockets. Hello and welcome to episode 54 of Two Man Game with Damon and Dom. I'm Damon, that's Dom, and you are the listener. Before we get started today, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, leave 5 stars, and on either platform, make sure you share it to everyone and everywhere that you know how. Episode 54. Let's see. I'll go 5-4, Kevin Garnett, and 4-4. Daniel House, Rockets legend.
Oh, was he number 4
He
on the
was number
Rockets?
4 on the Rockets.
Okay, number 4, Jalen Suggs. Number 5, Paolo Banchero.
Oh,
Boom.
okay. I like yours might be better.
I like your
That is,
Kevin Garnett because I never think of him as number 5. I think of him as 21.
yeah,
So
the Celtics
I
Garnett
forgot about. Yeah,
champion
not for
Garnett.
me. I know.
Not even a player that I particularly like. But yeah, we are here. It is what's today? Thursday, October
The
10th.
10th.
That's the
Yeah.
day. Thank you.
hmm
10-10. Currently 24 seconds left, overtime. Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty. Liberty actually just stole and scored a basket, tied at 93 with 24 seconds left.
Whoa,
So
double OT
it's going to
first
be a
game.
dramatic finish here. We were trying to wait, but Dom, he has to be somewhere tomorrow morning called work. So we
Yeah, I have to be. Yeah, it's unfortunate,
we got to
that
get
they
the
want
ball
to
rolling here.
shape young minds. But yeah. So, like we mentioned, New York Liberty beat the Aces 3-1, and then the Minnesota Lynx beat the Connecticut Sun 3-1. So today was the first game of the finals, or an OT. We'll check in. Damon was able to get the game up. We'll check in once the game concludes or goes to double OT.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a sorry, I'm so sorry, a Clippers shirt.
Lakers. What?
You know what I wish it was. I'm wearing a
Yeah.
Clippers shirt in honor of me buying tickets to join the Clippers fan section October 30th against the Trail Blazers, which
That's
I will
that.
be wearing my Blazers jumper.
I mean, that is so huge. We know you as the bigger Clippers fan on the pod, so we're glad you get to have that experience. That's going to be awesome for you.
I'm only
Uh,
gonna root for Derek Jones Jr.
oh yeah, is that how it works?
Yeah, that's it. That's all. If anyone else does anything, I'm not gonna root. I'm not gonna say
Fair.
do anything.
I'm not sure how Minnesota scored, so now they're up with 9 seconds left. So
Oh,
just so yeah,
okay.
quick
Well, yeah,
update.
in the regular season, the Lynx did win every time they met.
Mhm.
So because their defense is just lockdown defense, apparently. So
Yeah,
um
Nafisa Collier, we talked about winning Defensive Player of the Year.
yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, what are you wearing right now?
I'm
I can
wearing
kind of see.
Rockets Skyline. I hate this shirt. It's so bad. The Houston Skyline. Skyline, dumb shirt idea. I don't like it. But it is number 0 Russell Westbrook. It's when he was on the Rockets, so that's why I have it. It says 0 on the back, kind of like a jersey shirt. I
Yeah,
kind of love
I
it.
like I
This,
don't
like if this weren't a jersey, that would be disgusting.
I don't hate it. They always try to. I like the baby blue. It's the color that I don't hate. And
Yeah, yeah.
the skyline. Okay, I'll say this: the skyline's not iconic like other
Right.
skylines, but it is fine. Like it could be a lot
It's like, why
worse.
is every big city like, let's show our big buildings? That's our thing. It's
Yeah, but
weird.
it's so you have to find buildings that people know. Otherwise, it's just like, what
Yeah.
skyline is
Like New
this?
York, you literally talking about the Liberty. You have the Statue of Liberty and the
Yeah, or
Empire
Empire
State Building,
State
like
Building.
super
Yeah,
famous buildings.
or
Hold
Chicago has
on.
like Sears Tower.
Brianna Stewart backing down in the post, drew a foul, not on the shot though. 3 seconds left.
Wow.
I
Okay,
don't know
so
if they're
two.
inbounding it or if they're in the bonus. I'll check back.
Are
Um,
they up by two? The
the
Lynx.
the Lynx are up by 2. Yeah,
Okay, so she could tie it, perhaps.
yeah. Um, yeah. Did
Cool.
you have anything you wanted to touch on with the preseason? Have you seen anything else that kind of stuck out to you?
Well, I just saw the
The
Lakers
NBA
won
preseason.
final. Yeah. I just saw the Lakers won. We in the years past, we like never win preseason games, so nice to see we finally won one. Besides that, it was cool to see Karl Anthony Towns playing with the Knicks. I watched a little bit of that, like some clips here and there, and Klay Thompson played today with the Mavericks. So that was pretty cool to see, like, new places for old faces. So yeah, Rockets are doing pretty good. They went to OT against the Thunder. I don't know if you saw that, and they won. It's pretty cool.
Uh, Brianna Stewart got the ball, drove in for a layup, missed it badly. No foul. Lynx win game 1 of the WNBA Finals.
Wow.
A comeback of 18 points, tied for the largest in WNBA Finals history. So
Who came back?
the Lynx, they came back to win that game. They were down 18. Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's wait, is it in New York or in
it's in
Minnesota?
New York. Yeah. They're
Oh,
the one seed.
wow. Crazy. Okay.
Big deal.
Anyways, try to watch game. We'll try to watch game two then.
Yeah,
What
I'm trying
about
not to take anything too seriously from the preseason. I feel like last year
yeah.
I was very and I'm like Julian Strawther because he had like a big game in the preseason. I was like, here he comes for the Nuggets. He's gonna be a big piece, and he like didn't play. Um, and you got guys like that. Terrence Shannon Jr. He had like a really big preseason game.
Mhm.
A couple other players talked about last time. So I'm kind of just a watchful eye from afar. Nice to have basketball back, but I don't want to buy in on anything I've seen just yet because it's the preseason.
For
I feel like
sure.
no one takes it seriously.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I try not to overreact to things, but it's nice to see certain players doing what they want to what you want to see them doing. Like I'm seeing watching Dalton Connect making shots, pulling up mid-range, making threes, and I'm seeing Reed Shepherd making his threes, do a little bit of playmaking. So I see Cam Whitmore go downhill and just dunk on people. So it's like it's good to see players doing what we expect of them, and it's really wait for the regular season to really like analyze it.
I have to stop myself from getting excited every time I watch Cam Whitmore. That guy
I
is
know
just an
he's so
athletic
fun.
freak. He had like two
Yeah,
posters in the first game he played. I was like, oh God.
I know. And then
Um,
you see the Chris. I watched some Chris Paul, like Chris Paul and the
the
Spurs doing
Wimby
some.
lob, that was a big
Yeah,
one I saw everywhere. Yeah, that was cool.
yeah. So,
Um,
so that's about it. That's about it for preseason. Like I haven't been watching. I watched. I sent you this clip. It was so funny. James Harden like trying to like back up and just basically airball
an
a
air ball on the
shot.
step back, that was
Yeah.
huge. That was awesome.
So
Ben Simmons starting at the
Harden
five,
ball. But that was insane. We didn't even
comeback
touch that.
season.
Yeah, I meant to look like at the stats, but I kept forgetting to see how good he did.
Yeah, I'm
But it's
so not
preseason.
invested in the Nets. I just don't care at all
Yeah.
about the franchise.
I don't I kind of like them. There's other teams I don't like more.
I mean, when
Like
they
I'm
have like
not
the fun D'Lo Nets, after that it's been like, nah.
yeah, I like the Nets ever since they got rid of KD and Harden and Kyrie just because it's like oh like what is this team trying to find its identity? For whatever reason, like if I'm thinking of teams I don't really care for, like but have no really reason. It's like the Hawks and the Heat. But even like the Hawks I like
Hawks or
Onyeka
whatever for
Okongwu,
sure.
but like I don't really like anybody in the Heat. Like I
I
could care
love
less.
Bam.
I like Bam and
I've
Hamid,
been
but like I don't like anyone else that much.
I've been calling
Like for
him
whatever, I don't know why.
Bamante when I think about him.
Of course, that's his name. But yeah, and also, did you also look into at the annual GM survey a little bit?
Yeah, so I wanted to go not through the whole thing because it's like 50 questions. Just a couple of the things I thought
Yeah.
were interesting with you because they do this every year. Basically, listener, if you're not aware, all 30 GMs in the league are asked questions about just kind of different things around the league. Then they release these results to the public, which I think is interesting. So I kind of want to ask you the questions, Dom, if you don't mind, and then I can touch
Okay.
on some of the.
I did look at it, so I might know some answers. But
Um, who do you think people thought would win the finals this year?
Celtics.
Celtics, 83%.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I mean, but that's always recency. Last year, also people said the Nuggets. It's
Last
just
year it was Boston and Denver with 33% for each. So,
yeah. I feel like it's always. I mean,
do you know who's
okay.
second?
Was it the Sixers?
It's the Thunder, 13%.
Oh, Thunder. So yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Eastern Conference rankings, Boston got 97% of the first place votes too.
To be first.
Yeah.
Jesus
The other
Christ.
other what do you think the other team with the first place vote was?
With a first place vote, Knicks.
Yeah, it was the Cavs. I don't know why,
Oh,
but
the
maybe the
Cavs
Cavs
GM.
GM voted for
Yeah, yeah,
himself.
literally.
That's a little
That's what I
suspicious.
love what I love about the GM survey. It's literally the GMs of people in the NBA.
Yeah,
So it's like if there's like a random vote for like Laurie Markkinen for like
yeah,
MVP, it's like that was
yeah,
Danny
yeah, yeah.
Ainge. It was like that was him. Or is he that is right? He is the GM for the Jazz. Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and Sam Presti is
or
Thunder.
president of basketball operations, whatever. Same idea. And Sam Presti
Yeah.
is the Thunder. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I get mixed up because they're both old white guys.
Yep.
So
But yeah,
cool.
Eastern Conference rankings, just real quick. Celtics, Knicks, Sixers, Cavs, Bucks, Magic, Pacers. That was the top seven in the East.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay.
Who do you think got the most Western Conference first place votes?
Thunder.
Thunder,
Yeah.
80%.
Yeah.
Um, Second was Minnesota, who didn't have a single first place vote, but they had a lot of second and third place votes. Then we have
Interesting.
Denver, Dallas, and Phoenix.
Hmm.
Third, fourth, and fifth, they all received the same amount of first place votes. And then finishing off the top eight, Memphis, Golden State, New Orleans.
Golden State?
Actually, I flipped New Orleans and Golden State. Pelicans were seventh, Warriors were eighth.
Still, what about the Kings?
Nope, those are the only teams to win win votes right
I
there.
I like the Kings more than the Warriors right now. Anyways, okay.
Okay, moving on to some player things. Who do you think was predicted to win MVP this year?
Wasn't it is it Shea?
Shea
Okay.
Gilgeous-Alexander, 40% of the votes, which I thought was so
Yeah.
interesting. Um,
It's probably just because they were good, really good, and like, oh, the Thunder are actually good. I don't know.
uh, Luca second at 30%, and then Embiid, Jokic, Tatum all got 7%, tied for third.
Tatum's not getting it. I'm sorry.
Jokic was predicted last year, so they were right.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
If you were to start a franchise today and could sign any player in the NBA, who would it be? One of the most
Isn't it
interesting questions.
Wimby?
It's Wemby. It's already Wemby.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
77%.
crazy.
77%.
You wouldn't pick Jokic, someone who's a
Jokic
three-time
was
MVP.
last year's answer.
Yeah.
And this is a longevity question, right? Because Jokic probably has 5 to 7 good years left. Wemby just started, and he's already looking really, really good.
Oh, is that what they mean? I thought
That
they mean
it's
like from
like
the
if you had to build a
beginning
franchise, who are you picking to be like,
today.
yes, exactly.
Oh,
So in years past, people would pick
okay.
like Luca or Giannis or someone that was like a young star.
That
Uh,
makes okay. That makes more. I thought it was like if you knew what you knew now, who would you draft?
oh, I see.
That's what I thought it meant.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
like for your long-term franchise success, basically.
Ah, yes.
Shea and Jokic were both tied for second, though.
I get it.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip a couple
Interesting.
of questions that I don't think are that important. Um, who's the best point guard in the NBA?
Steph Curry?
Steph Curry was third.
Is it Shea?
Shea was second.
Luca?
Luca. It was Luca.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, okay, okay.
37%.
Because I still think of Luca as a shooting guard. He's so
Let
tall to be a point guard.
well, we're gonna get to that in a second, but let me tell you this. I looked into past year surveys. Steph Curry was voted the best point guard for the last 10 years, since 2014. He has been number one every single year. This is the first year he's not number one, which
That's
is
crazy.
crazy. It was like I looked, it was like
Washed.
Steph Harden, Steph Chris Paul, Steph Russell Westbrook, Steph whatever, and now it's finally
Yeah.
not Steph, now Luka and Shea. Uh,
Jeez.
what about best shooting guard in the NBA?
Luca.
Luka had a vote, so he had a vote for point guard and shooting guard.
Oh, it's not best shooting guard. I'm gonna say, why am I blanking on this? It's just we just did shooting
We
guards.
just did.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards was number one.
Nice.
Devin
Okay, I was
Booker
just thinking
number
of our S
two,
tier. Yeah.
and Shea number three, who was number two for point guard. So these GMs don't know positions. I don't know what they're doing.
No, that's that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. We can't
Best
help that.
small forward in the NBA.
It's like Tatum.
It's Tatum.
Or yeah, okay, okay, okay.
Tatum,
And then like
47%. You know
okay,
who's second? Tied for second.
LeBron.
Luca.
Oh, small forward.
He
That's
is all
insane.
three positions so far. Uh, Kevin Durant, Luca,
How do you think he's a small
and
forward?
LeBron. So you're right on LeBron for being second.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we said LeBron's
Yeah, it's just
small
funny
forward.
that like, because I guess they just gave him the question. They had to write an answer. Um,
Yeah, I think that's what I looked it up. It's like you'd assume it was just like you like search your player and like it would be
yeah,
who's eligible, but you just like write in, or it is like that, but it has everyone in the NBA, not
yeah.
just like by position.
Best
Which is kind
power
of fun.
forward in the NBA. So it should
Giannis.
be easy. It's Giannis, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
77%. The only person that got more than one vote was Kevin Durant, but worth
Oh,
noting,
that makes sense.
Sabonis got a vote. So
Oh yeah, the center for the Kings.
yeah, also Wemby got a vote. Uh,
Well, he did, but he's okay. That makes a
he
bit
did
more
play
sense than
some
the
power
start of the
forward.
season. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Best center in the NBA,
Jokic.
Jokic, 87%. Um,
Wow,
Embiid was at 10%. Wemby, 3%. Got a vote.
that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Absolutely not.
Uh,
I'm not that. What is up with everybody just hot takes left and right? At least I didn't say best point guard, Wimby.
Wemby.
I was like,
Uh, what team had the best offseason?
Thunder,
Thunder, number one. Do you know number two? I bet you can get all
Sixers.
three. Sixers, number two. Number three?
Yeah, Knicks.
Knicks, correct. Good job.
Nice,
Nice
nice.
work.
Okay,
Which
cool.
one player acquisition will make the biggest impact?
Oh, Paul George,
Paul
obviously.
George, 60% of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
votes. Yeah. No one else is
What
even
was number
close.
two though? I
Number two
can't.
is a tie between two people that went
Oh,
to the same team.
Alex Caruso.
No.
Oh, Mikal Bridges
Kel Bridges
and
and
oh
someone else that
no,
went to that
oh
team.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Carl Anthony Towns. Yep.
That does make sense. Okay, I keep forgetting that that trade happened. Doesn't that feel weird?
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
it doesn't feel. It still
It
hasn't
doesn't
quite
feel
hit yet.
right. Yeah.
What do you think the
Anyways,
most underrated player acquisition was?
so I would say like Alex
It was
Caruso.
Alex Russo, number one.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
very
why
cool.
I wasn't gonna ask it, but when you said it last question, I was like, I'm gonna go back to it now.
What? Who are the others? I'm curious.
KCP, number two.
Good
And
one.
then tied for number three, Isaiah Hartenstein and Tyus Jones.
Good. Those very good ones.
Yeah, I think those are good for
All of them are
underrated.
good.
Which
Yeah.
team is going to be most improved to this season? This is easy if you
Oh,
figured it out last
Grizzlies.
season.
Come
Yep,
on. Come on. God.
this is not close. It's not close. Um, Most surprising
Although,
move of the offseason?
I mean, most surprising, it's got to be Carl Anthony Towns to the Knicks.
That's the one. Yep.
Literally. Yeah. I
The
mean, you literally called me at like 9 7 p.m. my time. Like,
one.
dude, you'll never guess what
Damn
happened.
it.
Dude.
Who's going to win Rookie of the Year, according to the
Mm,
GMs?
I Reed Shepard, right?
Reed Shepard. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Number
like that. I
two,
think that's
30%, Zach Edey.
interesting. And then three, let me guess. Ooh, like
I'd be amazed if you guessed this.
what's his name? It's oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? It's not Alex Sarr. It's not Risha Shea.
What team does he play?
Um, I'm gonna say like like Rob Dillingham.
No, good guess. It was Castle, Stephon Castle.
Oh,
Which
it's Stephon Castle.
I
Okay,
thought was an interesting guess because he's not going to start because Chris Paul and all that.
I
So,
know.
um,
Yeah.
okay, let's move
Hmm.
on. Keep it moving. Best defender in the
Yep.
NBA.
Giannis.
Giannis tied for fifth.
Huh? Best defender, Bam.
Bam tied for second.
Not Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert tied for second.
What? So who's for? Uh, ooh, Jaden McDaniels. I
You're not
mean,
going to like the answer. Jaden McDaniels did get a vote. He's in the also
okay,
receiving votes category.
okay. What team?
If I tell you the team, that'll just give you the answer.
Okay. Um, East or West?
West,
West,
Southwest,
South. Wimby.
Wemby, number one.
Oh my God! Come
40%
on,
already.
dude.
He
No,
clears everyone else on this vote.
that's ridiculous.
I like this question though. Best perimeter defender in the NBA.
Lou Dort.
Lou Dort at number four, 7%.
Okay. Best perimeter defender. I mean, I would say Aaron Neesmith. I doubt he's there, but
Neesmith did not get a vote.
damn. Dylan Brooks.
No. No, 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 no.
East or West?
We got East for number one. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good Eastern team.
OG Anunoby.
Also receiving votes.
Best perimeter defender.
This
I
guy
mean,
hounds.
oh, Derek White.
Derek White also receiving votes.
Okay. This guy is Hounds. Oh, not Jose Alvarado. He's in the West.
No, not quite
Jalen
that amount of
Suggs.
hounding. He's on Derek White's team.
Drew Holiday.
Drew
Still?
Holiday, number one. Yeah.
Still?
Yeah. Number two,
Still?
Caruso. Number
Caruso. That's a name.
three, a guy that is on another Southwest team that we both really
Uh,
like, I think.
you think?
Yeah.
Um, Herb Jones or
Herb
Trey Murphy the
Jones.
third.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Have you
Uh,
seen? Do you see that shirt? It says Herb Jones for DPOY and has a baby picture of him.
I have not seen that shirt. That sounds like a great
Okay,
shirt.
it's a
I
great
want it.
shirt. They gifted it to Trey Murphy the third,
That's
and like
funny.
on like press day. That was funny.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Um, who is the best head coach in NBA according to GMs?
Oh, Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra, who has never won Coach of the Year. Um,
Ridiculous.
yeah, crazy. Pop didn't receive a single vote.
I was gonna say Popovich was my other. Hmm.
Let's skip past all the other coach questions because they're whatever.
Yeah.
Um, which team's most fun to watch?
Thunder.
Thunder or number two? Team had a high flying offense last year. Probably
Oh,
Williams.
Pacers. Pacers.
Pacers, yeah, number one.
Can you tell me the other ones?
Nuggets and Warriors tied for third,
No,
and then Celtics were fifth,
no.
and then
I those are
also receiving votes, Mavericks, Lakers, Suns.
definitely not Lakers.
I don't think the Suns are
Maver
very fun to watch either.
Definitely Mavericks. Definitely Nuggets are
Luka's
because of
fun.
Jokic.
Jokic
Sure.
is fun. Yeah.
Celtics are not fun to watch. Warriors are
The
not fun to
Celtics are not
watch.
fun. The Warriors have Steph.
Yeah, but that's like toward lower. Suns are not fun to watch, and then the Warrior. Sorry, Celtics are definitely not fun to watch. Lakers are not fun to watch. I trust me. I've watched almost every game. Um. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Last couple of miscellaneous questions.
Okay.
Which team's level of success this season is going to be tough to predict? Toughest to predict.
Toughest.
Yeah, like which team is the hardest to predict how they're going to do this season?
Mm, Magic.
Magic also received a vote.
Lakers.
Lakers, number one.
Are you serious?
Number one. Yeah. What do you think
Finally,
number
they feel
what
my
do you think
pain.
number
They
two
feel my pain.
is?
Suns.
If I went to you for Lakers,
Oh, Rockets.
Rockets, number two.
Nice. That's
Tied with
fun.
tied with the Pelicans. The Suns were number four though, so
Okay.
good call there.
Pelicans are a big one too. Injuries and stuff for sure.
Which player is most athletic?
Most athletic, Giannis.
Giannis is number two,
Who's the
17%.
most? Who's the most athletic? You say Wemby, I swear to God.
It's not Wemby. It's
Okay, Jesus. Most athletic. Oh, Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, number one.
Nice. Yes,
Amon
yes, for
Thompson,
sure.
number three. Look out.
Amon Thompson?
Number three.
We saw him with the boot. Yeah, he broke his
Yeah.
foot.
This is an easy one. Which player is the best shooter?
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, 87%.
Come on, come on.
Interesting question. Which player is the fastest with the ball?
I would say Shea or Tyrese Halliburton.
Neither appear on the list.
De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox, number one, 52%.
Okay.
Second was
Still-
Ja, third was Maxey, fourth was Kyrie.
Ooh, they're pretty fast. I feel like Shea's really fast too. Anyways,
He kind of, I don't know, the way he gets to his mid range is kind of like herky jerky almost.
he's quick. He's jerking himself pretty quick.
Hold on, hold on. He's what?
No,
What is he doing?
He's arcing, jerking himself around pretty quickly.
Best passer,
Jokic.
Jokic, 70%.
And is it Luca?
Luka's number two at 17.
Yeah. And then three has got to be. I'm gonna say Halliburton.
Halliburton, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
There's one more guy on here. If you guess this guy, I'll freak out. He has
Best
3% of the votes,
passer.
which means he got one vote.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Best passer. Just like off the top of my head, not thinking about it too hard. I would say like Jalen Suggs.
No,
No, Tyus Jones.
no.
Fuck. Okay, who?
It's Josh Giddey. Number four with one vote. I was like, there's no shot.
It's Arturas Karstanovas. Like, come on, we made a good decision. It was definitely worth it. It was definitely worth it.
All right. Last one. If you had a shot to win a game, who do you want taking the shot? Thought this one was weird.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry was number one, which I feel like he
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot of buzzer beaters or anything in his career, so I thought that was strange.
Well, I can't stop thinking about Team USA.
Yeah,
That just
maybe that was
happened.
it.
I feel like that's also a recency thing.
Do you
Yeah.
want to guess
He's
any of the other ones?
I'm gonna guess like DeMar DeRozan because Clutch Player of the Year. Is
Also
he one of
receiving
them?
votes.
Okay. Shea,
Shea was also receiving votes.
Luca.
Luca number three.
Okay, so I'm missing number two, right?
Yeah. And then you have
Um,
two guys that are tied for fourth.
okay, who do I want taking my last shot? Who do I trust? Um, I'm gonna say
Probably
Anthony Edwards.
one of the best scorers of all time. Anthony Edwards did not get a vote.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I'm just thinking about people I like. One of the best scorers of all time, Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Okay, two.
Hmm.
Okay, and then number four tied. Um, Jimmy Butler.
Oh my God.
Okay, fine. Oh, Dame time. Damian Lillard. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
You
Damian
like this
Lillard and then
little.
Jokic was the other one, which I thought was
Okay,
interesting.
thank you. Yeah.
All right,
He
that's
did
it.
had a buzzer beater. Okay.
That's all. I skipped
Thank
a
you for
lot
that.
of
That was
those.
fun. No, that was fun though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's
Thank you
interesting to
for
look at.
that.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you can go back and look at all the previous ones. Kind of
I
interesting.
will. I'll look at all of them, just like the stuff that's not as interesting to other people. Some news real quick. Let's cover. So Victor Oladipo joined ESPN as an analyst. I didn't
Made me
realize
feel
he
old.
retired officially, but I guess.
Just kind of withered into the ether.
Yeah, and what was it like? It was Thunder, Pacers, Rockets, Heat, Rockets again, then done,
I don't even think
right?
he went back to the Rockets. I think he just got injured on the Heat, and that was that. He also forgot his first team. Thunder were his second team. I don't know if you know that.
I don't know his first name.
Drafted second overall to the Orlando Magic.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Cool.
made me feel old when I saw that. I was like, I see this guy's like whole career basically.
Doesn't when I see like Luca retire, that's what I'm gonna because like I came in late, so I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Uh, in other news, Shams Charania filled in the Woj void as predicted on this podcast. They gave us an offer, but it was a little low for us. They kind of lowballed us. We didn't really
Mm-mm.
like that, so Shams was their second choice, and we said he can have it. We're more of 9, 10 figure guys. They offered us 8 figures. This wasn't enough for us, so
Yeah, also we wanted to work in the same studio together in one in Austin, one in LA, and they said you have to both move to one, and we said no, we're not
yeah.
going to do that.
No, actually, we would. And they said no. You have to do it via Zoom because that's how you do your podcast. They said we don't want you in
It's
person.
the fans love it as Zoom. You have to do it that way. It's like, oh,
We
I
said
don't
no. We
know,
want
I
to do it
don't
together. They
know.
said no. Okay.
Okay,
Um,
deal breaker.
yeah, they said we had to go to Maine, the studio up there. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah. So get ready for ShamWows.
ShamWows,
That's I prefer those than
Sean
like some of the
Bombs.
other ones. I don't like Sean Bombs because it's like it's not correct. It's sham. It's
It's his
sham.
name is Shams though. It's not Shams.
Look, it's not Shams bombs. It doesn't sound right. I prefer the
You,
Sham Walls.
Sean
Sham
Wow.
Wows. Sham Walls.
I've also heard Shambler alerts.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Uh,
Shambler.
Chamber
Sounds terrible.
alerts. Chamber alerts. That's bad.
Okay, for me it goes ShamWow, Shams bombs, and then Shambler.
Chamber. Yeah.
The first two I don't mind. Shambler alerts terrible. Anyways, congrats to him. Cool for
Yeah.
him. In other words, so the Clippers shirt I'm wearing,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and PJ Tucker have mutually agreed for the 13-year NBA veteran to be away from the team as the sides work toward a resolution for his future. So I this makes sense because there was a lot of like he wasn't very happy. He didn't want to be included in the trade to the Clippers. Then he wasn't really happy that he wasn't like a starter on the Clippers, and we'll see what happens
Yeah. He
with
wants to
him.
play.
Yeah.
They're not going to play him, and I don't know who will. So,
Yeah, well, I
like, he
respect
he would
that.
be one of those locker room guys, I think, like pretty well, the culture and all that. But yeah, if he wants to get on the court, I just don't see a lot of teams giving him that offer.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad that he's this. I feel like so many older guys are just like, pay me anything. I'm just happy to be here. But he's like, I want to play basketball. It's like, I kind of
Like
respect
for the
that.
love of the sport.
Weird.
Um, A future that has been decided. Danny Green retiring from the NBA officially, 15 seasons, and of course, three-time champion. Spurs 2014, Raptors 2019, Lakers 2020. Um,
Yeah,
Danny Green
wild.
had a bullseye tattooed on his elbow,
Yeah.
and
I remember
what a
watching the
bad tattoo.
2020. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, also he tore his ACL and like LCL like the same year. Like he was just like his body was like rejecting him playing in the NBA at the end. But thank you, Danny Green. Congrats on your championships and enjoy retirement.
Shout out.
Shout out. Wendell Carter Jr. has agreed to a 3-year, $59 million extension with the Magic through the 2029 season. So that's about 20 million a year. What do you think about that?
Good contract. In today's NBA, high salary cap,
Yeah,
good quality. What do we rank him? C tier, B tier, starting center. I mean, it's
I think
pretty good.
low B. I think we gave him.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
yeah,
like if this were 10 years ago, I'd be like, oh my God. But like,
yeah,
Steph Curry signed like a $62 million extension for 1 year. And this is
yeah,
59
and
for three
even
years.
not for
So
this next year. He signed it for like the in three
right.
years from now. So
So
funny.
like it's not crazy. I mean, it's crazy for me and you, but it's not crazy in terms of the NBA landscape.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dante Exum expected to miss 3 months after undergoing right wrist surgery. We talked about this last time. I didn't quite know what was going on, but he's going to be out for quite a while, maybe until or at least until 2025. So
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that hurts their depth, or do you think they'll be okay? Because I mean, toward the end of the season, like I know you had some
he kind of got
flashes
played out in
last
the
year.
playoffs.
Yeah. So do you think they'll be fine? Do you think they're gonna miss him? They got Najee Marshall, Clay, Jaden Hardy still.
Quentin
Like
Grimes snuck
Quentin
in there.
Grimes. Pretty
Take
excited
some of
about
those
seeing him.
minutes. Yeah.
Q dot.
If you
Yeah.
need to, just get Reggie Bullock from the streets. Throw some guys
PJ
in there.
Tucker.
DJ
PJ Tucker.
Tucker, play somebody.
Well, hey, don't forget we got Markieff Morris still.
Yeah, okay.
Dude,
Um,
dude. I saw his media day pictures. He looks like he doesn't want to be there. It's so funny. It's so funny. Um,
it's funny.
yeah, USC sophomore Juju Watkins has agreed on a multi-year contract extension with Nike that will give her one of the richest shoe endorsement deals in women's basketball.
The next big thing coming for the W.
Cool. I know the name. I don't know
She had a
what she looks
stellar
like or
season
anything.
last year. It's kind of overshadowed, of course, by the Caitlin Clark's last season and all that. So
Yeah.
not as much attention was paid to it. But you'll hear the name come up, and once she makes the W, it'll be a big deal for sure.
Yeah, maybe I'll go to a game. It's USC, right? It'd be
Yeah,
cool.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then in the shoe news, Tyrese Halliburton signed a massive multi-year shoe deal with Puma to be one of the future faces of the company. So, you know,
No, I'm happy for him. I just don't like Puma.
yeah,
Not a
Puma's
Puma
kind of
guy.
whatever. But, if you could be the guy instead of like
No,
Nike where they got 50
so many.
guys.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And Puma was really big, like internationally. Like when you go to Europe, people love wearing Puma like everywhere. Just in America, it's not as big.
Prada was wearing he's wearing those Prada shoes in media day. You think Prada's
Yeah,
jealous right now? They didn't get in the hooping game.
I think they're like, why would he wear Prada with his jersey? It
They
looks
saw they saw him
terrible.
wearing Prada and they said, okay, sign this guy to a shoe deal right now.
Yeah,
What are we doing
yeah.
here?
This guy knows what he's doing. No, that looked terrible. Oh man.
But
But
yeah, Tyrese Halliburton, perfect transition for our starting the point guards tier list.
oh, that's great. I
I
like that
lined it
one.
up.
Yeah, yeah, you lined it up
So yeah,
great.
we've done every other position, starting with center and going backwards, power forward, small forward, shooting guard. Now we're here at point guard. What I think will probably be the hardest position to rank, probably the most talented position in the NBA. Your lead ball handler, the guy has to be really good, of course, and there's a lot of good point guards in the NBA, as you will see
Hmm.
today. If you haven't been listening to these podcasts, basically how we do this, we go through the projected depth charts of each team, look at their point guard, which we already have done, and put into a tier, and then we rank them. We tier them from S tier being the best, all the way down to A tier. I mean, A tier, what? A tier, all the way down to F tier being not bad players, but in terms of starting point guards, probably not exactly what you want. And of course, we are projecting for how they're going to do this season, not really based on previous results, because that's less interesting.
Hmm.
Were you going to say
Um,
something?
well, I was gonna say I think it would be interesting once we do this, we're gonna have the entire like all of our tiers. What I want to do is I want to average all of them out and see technically who has the best starting five I think
Oh
that's
yeah,
the worst starting five.
yeah, that'll be interesting.
I'll
We
I'll
definitely
I'll
do
put
that.
in time for that. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I would like that. That'd be fun.
Okay. All
All right,
right.
let me share
Well,
the screen. Let me get it up.
let us do it. I'm very excited about this. And also, if you're still listening, make sure to like, subscribe, share with everybody you know. And you can brag about your NBA knowledge and say, where'd you learn all this stuff? Two-man game with Damon and Dom.
You almost said
That's
the
how you
old
tell
name.
them. I
Huge.
almost said the old name. People, when
Uh,
you search D&D, too much Dungeons and Dragons stuff comes up. What
right.
can I say?
Um, yeah, if you can get, 5 people to subscribe, you can be a guest. Congratulations.
Oh, okay,
It's like
cool.
it's like a
They're
referral
opening
program.
it up. Yeah, I was like, they're
Um,
opening it. Okay, open it up.
but yeah, let's get right into it. We use a wheel here to determine who we're gonna talk about. We don't go in any particular order.
You get the sign. You just turn the sound off.
Uh, I don't think I turned it off, but I didn't hear it, so we're good.
Nice.
All right,
This is gonna
Orlando
be
Magic. I want you to take it because you've been talking about this guy a lot lately.
Jalen Suggs,
Yeah,
right? Jalen Suggs really had a breakout year last year. He was drafted pretty high, like number 4. Had a lot of expectation because he was on Gonzaga. I don't know if they won. Did they win the championship that year? Or they did. Okay.
back to
So
back. No, not back to
yeah,
back. That
but
was a total lie.
yeah, no, they didn't. But he came in, kind of got injured, didn't really play that much. But last year he really bought into this Magic defensive mindset. He shot 39% from three, and I mean he handles the ball pretty well. He's more of a shooting guard, I think, not really a point guard. And I mean they have other point guards like Anthony Black, Cole Anthony. Markel Fultz is not there anymore, correct? He was let go.
Still a free agent. Still
Still a free
unsigned
agent.
out there.
Gotcha. Um, And even like Jet Howard, I don't know if he's a point guard. Anyways, there's a lot of young guys.
That guy's like 6'8".
Okay, so yeah, point guard. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So Jalen Suggs, very good point guard, very defensive minded. I hope he can keep that three ball percentage as high as it is, and just somebody that goes out and like just puts it all out on the court, and something I respect so much, and makes me one reason why the Magic are a team I'm really starting to like. I never had a reason to, so he's a big reason that I think he's a very good point guard. It's gonna get tough. I'm gonna put him. I want to put him in the B tier, but I feel like he might go down to C. But not by any means is he bad. It's just compared to other people, I feel
We're
like
gonna
he
have a
might
lot of
kind of go
competition
down.
here today.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, Jalen Suggs really drives home the Magic's defensive identity. In the backcourt, he is that guy. Shifting over to the point guard, I think, like you mentioned last year, we had him, I think, literally in the F tier in shooting guards. Um,
yeah,
but now they have KCP, so of course that's gonna be their starting shooting guard. Suggs slides over to the point guard. They're gonna have a pretty big lineup. Um, like his defense a lot. His shooting got a little more consistent throughout the year. In the playoffs, he was a pretty good scorer, which they're going to need for their offense because they do have some spacing issues. Wendell Carter, Franz, Paolo, none of them great shooters.
hmm
So of course you have KCP who's going to be consistent, but Suggs is going to need to be that as well. Maybe develop as a playmaker, although the ball will be in Paolo and Franz's hands a lot of the time too. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I'm fine with like a low B tier, maybe a high C tier. Depends on where the rest of the list ends up because there's going to be a lot of
yeah.
talent, like I mentioned here today, in the
Exactly.
guard
Yeah,
territory.
exactly. So that's what I was thinking, and he'll probably end up back in B tier or top of C tier, like you said.
And I forgot to do this, so let me go ahead and do this real quick. Go back to last year's starting point guards list and
Oh yeah, let's look at that real
take a
quick.
look at
Yeah.
it. So last
Oh,
year, our starting point guard list in the S tier, we had Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox.
in the A tier, we have Ja Morant, Tyrese Halliburton, Darius Garland, Jamal Murray, and Jalen Brunson.
And Garland and Murray, that was the debate last year. You won that one for sure. Garland had an off year because you were like, Jamal Murray is definitely better. And I was like,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Um,
That's okay.
B tier, Drew Holiday, Trae Young, LaMelo Ball. A picture of Monte Morris. It was supposed to be Bradley Beal, I think, is
Sorry.
who we had as their starting point guard for the Suns. And
Yeah.
then James Harden.
Okay. C tier, Cade Cunningham, Russell Westbrook, Fred Van Fleet, Terry Rozier, and is that Markel Fultz?
That's Terry. Oh yeah, Markel Fultz. You said Terry Rozier. I was like, what? Yeah, that's Markel Fultz. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. We had Harden. This was before, of course, he got traded to the
Yeah.
Clippers, so he was over on the Sixers still.
Yeah.
D tier, we had a picture of Derek White. I guess it's Derek White. Well, we had Drew Holiday on here. So how did we have both? Maybe this was before Drew Holiday got traded.
This was
Uh,
before the trade. I think we did it before the big trade because the trade happened like right before the season start, like right before training camp. I think we did this kind of preemptively in the season. So
so Derek White, Mike Conley, D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Schroeder, and Tyus Jones.
wow. F tier: Kyle Lowry, Colin Sexton, Spencer Dinwiddie, Javon Carter, and it's not Trey Man, Trey Jones.
Trey Jones, yeah.
I always get them because the
Wow,
names are
this one
so
was
much.
perfectly even, which is crazy.
I remember this was the first one. We were like, we're gonna do all of them. We want to try to get them all
Didn't happen.
perfectly even, and did not. Next one we
Also,
out the
there's a
window.
couple rankings here that were not great. So
Yeah, I agree. Let's make a better one this year,
let's
shall
make a
we?
better one.
Cool.
Um, yeah, who's our next player? Let's figure it out.
Spin that wheel.
I'm spinning it. It's being spun.
Spin, spin, spin.
Okay, well, you have to take this one too, actually, because this is your guy. So
I know. I was
you could take this one too.
all right. Okay, Emmanuel quickly. Big fan. I liked him a lot in New York. He had traded to Toronto. It's gonna be his first year with the Raptors. The whole year. Him and RJ Barrett. He was coming off the bench for the Knicks, but what I really like about him is that he has so much energy when he's playing, and he it can be really quick. I know his name's quickly, but he can be really quick with the ball, pull up a mid range, get to the hoop, and like lay it up. I don't think he's like the best shooter. I would say he's probably like league average from three, if not a little bit below. But I really like how you never know what he's gonna do. Like he doesn't really give it away. He doesn't really like try to back down or stay in one place too long. He's always kind of moving around, which is something I really like about his game. And in the Raptors, since he's starting and even like end of last year, they really just gave him the keys, like, hey, just go out there, play your game. And pretty fast paced with him and Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett. They're really fun to watch. Great ball handler as well, has really good handles on the ball and underrated playmaker. I think he's going to be getting a lot better than he was with the Knicks, and he's already shown flashes with the Raptors. So I want to put him in B tier above Jalen Suggs. I think he's a lock in B tier.
Okay, interesting. I like Emmanuel quickly. I think, he has kind of had a good, kind of like RJ Barrett, good half year in Toronto. And I think he'll keep growing with that core when they give him like 5 years, 175 or something like that. Pretty big contract for him, a player that hadn't really started a lot. So it is a little bit of a risk, but I do think he can live up to the expectations. I like him as a scorer. I like, he kind of gets to his spots like you mentioned. Um, Pretty solid defender as well for a guard of his size. I think one of the more underrated parts of this trade that people don't talk about is that Emmanuel quickly and RJ Barrett got to keep their number. That's big. Um,
I love that. Thank you for bringing because it's true. I love that too. That they're both not 5 and 9
yeah.
respectively. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, Jalen Suggs and the importance of the playoff team that the Magic were, I think I would put him higher than quickly. So it's interesting.
That's fine. Honestly, that's fine.
But they're around the
I
same
know
range for me.
they're around. I don't mind putting him like back behind Jalen Suggs and B tier right now, and we'll move him around. I know I like Emmanuel quickly more. I'm probably projecting a bit, to some. Thank you, S tier. Uh, there might be a little bit of bias there, so I'm fine with that.
He's
To
biased.
me, to me, they are kind of like they're different, but I do
They're different
understand what
but
you mean
similar
about.
tier players
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
do know what you mean about Jalen Suggs, though, being very important to that identity. And Raptors are still figuring that out, but it's exciting to see and to watch.
Yeah.
Tell me
Let's
about
move
the
on to
Celtics.
the Celtics. Drew Holiday, their starting point guard, one of probably my favorite players in the last 10 years or so in the NBA. You just really like a guy that wins. He just wins. He's a winner. Every team he's been on, they've always been better. He's only made an All-Star game, I think, twice in his career, a long time ago with the 76ers, and then with the Bucks, I think he made it over there one year. Um, but he's an awesome player. We just went over the survey, voted best perimeter defender in the NBA. There's a reason for that. When you ask NBA players, who's the toughest person that guards you? most of them that are guards will say Drew Holiday, because he's very big. He's like 6'4" and just bulky, but he knows how to move his feet, stay in front, knows how to defend without fouling, which is a very important skill in the NBA where fouls seem to be called constantly. So he's very good at that. We watched, even in the playoffs when it looked like the Pacers were maybe going to take game one of the conference finals, he really just shut their whole offense down because he shut their point guard down. And that's so crucial to have because, like we mentioned, point guards, typically the ball handlers, always the guys that are initiating things. So you can shut that guy down. You're in a good spot. So I really like him for that. And his offense is I think, still underrated. You
He's
know,
gotten better too.
yeah,
Well,
like
at least this last year, it was really good with the Celtics.
yeah, he can take shots, he can make shots, he can play make, he can initiate offense in a way, he can space, he can do all those things. And he's just not asked to do it usually because he's usually in a lesser role on a team, um, as their defender or like their third option or fourth option for scoring, but he can do it. For me though, honestly, the talent, I'm looking down at the pool of players we have right now, and I'm already thinking about Jalen Suggs quickly being too high, in the
Yeah,
B
I
tier.
know it's tough. Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, there's a lot of players that look really good down there. Because for me, Drew Holiday is a tier above.
Yeah.
As a player, I would put him, if they're in the B tier, I would put him in the A tier because I think he's just better than both of them by like
Yeah,
a
he
good
does it on
amount.
a different. Yeah, he does similar things, but on a better level. Like you said, he's a winner. They haven't. Jalen Suggs and Emmanuel quickly may one day be that tier, but they're not right now, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
But that being said, there's probably like, I don't know, eight or so players that I would also put above Drew Holiday. So that's where, it becomes a little tricky looking at the pool here. But we can adjust as we go on. For now, we'll throw him in the A tier and see where we
Yeah,
get.
yeah. I think it'll be a little top heavy. We'll see what it looks like. I forget which one it was. At small forwards where we had so much in the C, and we
Mhm.
were like, how are we gonna move this
Yeah, we
around?
had elite role players in the in the A tier
Yeah. Oh
instead,
yeah. Yeah.
for shooting
All
guards last
right.
time.
All right. Tell me about De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox. All right, so I get two of my guys after you get two of your guys, so that's nice.
Nice.
Like De'Aaron Fox a lot. He won Clutch Player of the Year a couple years
He's
ago,
on our
right? Like the
logo.
He's
He's
on
on
our
our
logo,
logo.
yeah. Him and Sabonis. So we like him here on Two Man Game. Um, Clutch offensive player, very good at driving, getting to the basket with the ball. He was voted fastest player with the ball or whatever on that poll we just went over. Um, Good in the two-man game with Sabonis, I think. And has become a better shooter, which was the part of his career that was kind of a question mark for a while. And he has kind of started adding that to his game, making him more of a three-level scorer, which is a lot harder for defenses to kind of account for. Um, he's a pretty okay defender. I wouldn't say he's great or amazing or anything. The effort's definitely there, but he is kind of slight in his frame, so he doesn't have all the tools needed to be like a great defender. Um, but he tries, and the Kings are always horrible at defense, but that's because their team is never built for defense, really. Um, that being said, I would say he's probably on the same tier as a Drew Holiday. I wouldn't say he's in the S tier, um, or going to finish in the S tier. I would put him on the A tier. Honestly, I don't even know if I'd put him in like I think individually talented wise, he's probably better than Drew Holiday, but Drew Holiday's just like impact on winning, I feel like is so crucial that like I would understand him being above De'Aaron Fox as well.
Yeah, I agree with A tier. I was thinking just now, like struggling. Do I put him above or below Drew Holiday? I would probably, because I think of the importance of the success of the team for this upcoming year, probably put him below. Just
Yeah.
because like the Celtics without Drew Holiday, I think, or don't have a chance. The
hmm
Kings still have DeMar DeRozan. And they still have like Sabonis. They have Malik Monk. If anything happens, Aaron Fox will put Malik Monk in, who's a very, very good six man. So, or is he gonna? Yeah, six man, right? He's not starting shooting guard, right? I
Yeah.
forgot already. Okay, cool.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I would just say that. Yeah, I think he's behind Drew Holiday.
All right. Works for me. So far, so
Yeah, just
good.
to me, Drew Holiday is like 42, but he's like 35 or something.
He is
Oh, here we go.
Tell me about Michael
Mike,
Conley.
Mike Conley. So he has been very good for the Timberwolves. He brings like a level-headedness to the point guard position. I remember when they traded, basically they replaced D'Angelo Russell with Mike Conley, and I was like that's such a downgrade, um, in my mind. But he proved people like me wrong. He has that connection with Gobert, which is really nice as well. He is a very good leader for these Timberwolves. He has a great relationship with everyone on that team. The bad thing is that he is old. Like he's getting old, so that's why like they drafted Rob Dillingham to kind of take over that hopefully one day. And underrated playmaker. He can shoot pretty okay. I think he's like league average probably. Good on defense, but not as quick as he used to be because he's getting old. And he's kind of smaller. He's like 6'2", 6'1", I want to say. So because of age and stuff, like he was really like up there for a lot of teams, but I probably put him in the D tier just because of age, and that's just what's with the talent as well. There's just so many good point guards out there right now.
Yeah, the loaded point guard tier, I think D tier is good for Mike Conley. We could also add an old tier if you want, and throw him
There's
right in
gonna be a
there.
few players. There's gonna be a few players I can see already. Where it's like they're good, but they're
They're
old.
old. Yeah, I think he is like 6 feet, 6'1". He is small. He is slight.
Yeah,
Good gritty defender, but yeah, like you mentioned, just you
just
know, once you get that age, the young kids are going to get around you. That's just how it goes.
yeah. It's
Um,
just what you yeah.
Definitely a winning player though. Just can't
Hmm.
impact the game quite as much as Drew Holiday in their old age because he doesn't have the same tools. But
Exactly.
good teammate. I think he's won that teammate award a couple years in a row, something
Yeah.
like that. Good locker room guy, good veteran presence. Going to teach Rob Dillingham. Yeah, I'm fine with D tier. I think that's good placement. We will never
Yeah.
disrespect Mike Conley and put him in the F tier.
No, of course. No, he would never do that to us.
We'll put a tier in between that just says needs to retire.
Oh,
Um,
okay. This was an interesting one.
yeah, so Phoenix Suns, we have Tyus Jones, yay, because they're starting him and Booker and Beal. Yuck.
Yuck.
It's pretty bad. But I like Tyus Jones, the thing that's always brought up with him is like the best assist to turnover ratio of all time. He does not turn the ball over.
Literally.
I don't know. It's like, okay, but that's as the backup on the Grizzlies and the backup on the Timberwolves and a starter for a little bit on the Wizards and then now he's on the Suns. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. This will be his first kind of time in the big light, playing with KD, Beal, Booker, all that. I do wish the best for him. I think they do need a playmaker for that team to have any kind of long-term playoff success. Um, that being said, I think he himself, he can pass the ball without turning it over, so that's good. But aside from that, there's not a lot to go off there. He's fine. I'd probably throw him in the D tier.
Oh, interesting. I was thinking C tier, but just because like I think he's going to be really important for the Suns, and they really don't have a replacement for him. It's not like another point guard they can. Is it like Monte Morris? I think they signed. I think, and like he's I like Monte Morris because he's on the Timberwolves, but again, there's a reason why he's always second, third string coming off the bench. So, um, yeah, would you put Tyus Jones in front or behind Mike Conley?
I mean, if you thought he would be in the C tier, we can put him in the C tier.
No, let's put him in D tier in front of Mike Conley. If that, and again, it's
I
because
do
Mike
think
Conley's
Suggs
old.
typically will drop eventually. I think
Yeah,
that will happen.
I think so too, but not yet. Not yet.
Keeping him up there for now.
Keeping him up there for now.
They can live in the B
Um,
tier while they can.
let's see. Keontae George. Okay, Utah Jazz. Okay. This is a
Yeah, yeah,
fun
yeah.
one because we like got to see him at Summer League last year and everything. So this will I think it's always going to be so fun for us to watch the players we saw at Summer League. I don't know if like to me that's
I'm gonna
special.
cherish those
So
those guys for the
yeah,
rest of my life.
absolutely. So, yeah, Jalen Duren and Cam Whitmore, especially because like we saw them. So yeah, so Keontae George is very young. He has a lot to learn still, but there is a reason why we really liked him at Summer League and why he was like fourth in Rookie of the Year or fifth or something like that. I think fifth.
No, he
But
ended up on the second team. I think he was six. It was Wemby, Chet, Jaime, Brandon Miller, Pods, the first
I
one.
forgot I forgot they do it like that. I thought it was positional. That's what or like by position.
Rookie
I
teams
keep
have
forgetting
actually
that.
never been positional, which is interesting.
I just always assumed it was positions, but that's a me problem. But Keontae George is really fun to watch. He's very athletic and he's like he's really springy is what I think of when I think of him, and he can get quick to the hoop. I don't think he's like the best shooter, but or the best defense best on defense, but he has a lot to learn. He's like 20 or 19, I feel like. He's super young.
He's very young.
Yeah, so he has a lot to learn, and he's going to be a good NBA player. He keeps working at it. Um, I like that they're giving him, instead of like giving it to Jordan Clarkson or like just having someone like older playing, I'm glad that they're letting him like, hey, start and get your minutes in and like learn and get better. So
Right.
I'd probably throw him. I don't want to put him on F tier, so I put him like D tier behind Mike Conley.
Yeah, I thought, can't put him above Mike Conley. That's what I
Yeah,
thought. But I
yeah,
really liked Keontae George going into the last season. I predicted him to finish third in Rookie of the Year, which wasn't far off because I did like his summer
yeah,
league a lot. I think he can score in bunches. Hopefully he becomes more efficient because he does shoot a lot. He's just not super efficient.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm excited to see what his career holds for sure. But again, point guards are going to be loaded. So for now, it's going to be hard to kind of ascend the ranks until we kind of see it.
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah. And he'll work on his game. He'll get a little bit better, more efficient, like you said.
Philadelphia, which is now Tyrese Maxey. We had him in shooting guard last year. No more Harden.
Shh.
So
No more. All right.
Maxey, yeah, super talented. I know you like him a lot. I like him a lot. He won Most Improved, which we both didn't really agree with because we thought he was already there. We had him in A tier last year. We
Hmm.
thought he was. We we predicted the jump. We were ready. Um, is he going to take another jump this year? Probably. I don't know how much of a jump. There's Paul George now too, so the responsibility will probably not be as great as it was at times last season. In their first round playoff series against the Knicks, he had a couple big moments, carrying them back in that one game, bringing it to overtime with some crazy shots and such. Um, yeah, I like Maxey a lot. I think he is great slasher, good shooter, developing as a playmaker, good kind of two-man game with Embiid. I think they can kind of develop. Definitely slap him in the A tier. I think probably behind. I like De'Aaron Fox more, but I could be wrong. I could be biased because I like De'Aaron Fox and the Kings a lot. I would maybe see putting Maxey in front of him. I don't know.
Uh, it's tough because like I'm so we they okay, so they're both in very similar situations, right? Kings now have DeMar DeRozan. Sixers now have Paul George. So it's like how would the role change? And I still feel like De'Aaron Fox is more important, and for that reason, I feel like he will probably be higher than Tyrese Maxey, but by a hair. You know what I mean? Like barely. Um,
I
just
dig it.
because, like you said, Paul George is there and he can handle the ball pretty well. Pretty well. So,
You got Sabonis, Embiid, Fox, Maxey, Paul George, DeRozan. The Kings are just like the shitty Sixers in the West.
basically, yeah. Basically. Um, although this is my bias show, I would take Sabonis over Embiid. I feel like you would too.
Yeah. I mean, like I like him more as a player for sure, but talent-wise,
Yeah,
one of those
yeah.
guys was in the S tier and one of them was not.
And one of them was MVP.
And one of
So
them was DeMontis Sabonis.
exactly. But yeah, no, Tyrese Maxey is going to be great. We love seeing that jump from young players. Um, okay, this is going to be one of the easiest one ever. Steph Curry, S tier, best shooter of all time. What more is there to say?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is another one. I think I mentioned this with LeBron. I'm going to be 1 year late. I'm not going to predict the fall off. Uh, because I don't, his game's not predicated on athleticism or anything like that. It's just get the ball, shoot the ball, which he does perfectly. Moves off the ball great as well. No Clay, so if the Warriors do want to compete, I think more of that responsibility, even in his, this age of his career, is going to fall onto him. So yeah,
Yeah.
has to be S tier. Top blank player of all time. What would you fill that
Yeah.
in with?
Top like eight.
Eight. Okay. I was wondering if he cracked your top 10. I haven't thought about that ever. I don't know if I've never sat down and ranked
Yeah.
players all time. But
Me either. I don't know. It's there's a lot of recency bias with
I would
that for me.
comfortably say 20,
Oh,
probably even 15.
I was gonna say
Uh,
15 comfortably, but
10,
like
10 is that's where we get a little, you got the Duncan, the LeBron, the MJ, the Hakeem, the blah blah blah, the Shaq, the Kobe, all
yeah.
all these guys. So it's tough. But
Kareem's and all
the
that.
top,
Yeah.
okay, top blank point guard of all time.
Oh, top five for sure. I feel like.
I think
I mean,
he's the
like
best.
Magic
I think he's number one.
Johnson's. I don't know.
I think he's number one only because Magic didn't play enough. Magic would be number one if he played more, but of course, his
I
career ended
know
a little early. So
because of like the sample size for sure, but I just still really like how well he can play. Like I love the threat that
yeah,
Magic had. But obviously, the best shooter of all time.
well, yeah,
Like
no question.
that's not even a question. I know. Anyways, that's a debate for the next offseason when we have time.
When we talk about our GOAT conversation, MJ versus
Oh my God.
LeBron. Let's
Dude,
see.
I hate those.
One
Let's
of us will
never
take
ever.
MJ, one of us will take LeBron. We'll do a lot of research and we'll have a 45-minute debate about it.
Actually
Chicago.
sounds kind of fun. Chicago, it's you.
It's me. Who's the point guard? Oh, Josh Giddey. Yeah, forgot about that. The Gidster, as they call him over in I don't know.
Hmm, perhaps
What can Josh Giddey
not.
do? Well, he can play make. That's the
And get
list.
rebounds.
There it
And get
is.
rebounds. You can get
Well, he is
rebounds.
tall for his position, so yeah, if he's trying to box out a 6'1" guard and he's like 6'6", yeah, he'll get the rebound over him most of the
Easy.
time. Um, God, that guy cannot shoot the ball. Let me tell you, he he can't shoot to save his life, but he can get to the bucket. He can hit layups. He can be a little bit of a slasher. Um, Josh Giddey is just so okay. He's just like so fine, I guess. I'm excited to see this kind of interesting young Bulls core they're going to present this year. Josh Giddey is an individual talent. I would definitely put above Keontae George, and then I that could be where it ends.
I agree with you. I'm excited to see that this new change of scenery for him as well. And I think without that Thunder now, like he was on the Thunder before there was expectation, and then the expectation got too high, and he just didn't meet that expectation. So switched him out. I think that was the right choice, and they obviously made it better. They got someone better that fits that expectation. Uh, I like his playmaking a lot. It's so funny to say underrated, but I guess it's not because GMs put him like third best passer in the league, which is crazy.
One vote.
Um, one vote. I did see what made me laugh really hard. I saw something on Twitter that said like Josh Giddey is about to have his revenge season. He's gonna average 17, 17, 17. And I was
God dang
like
it.
and I was like, hmm. I was like, why did it make me laugh so hard? And then I remembered. Anyways, though, so yeah, above Conte George because he could pass the ball really well.
Playmaking
This
is
is
a great
basketball
difference.
only. What's up?
This is basketball only, is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Josh Giddey is a nightclubber, F tier for sure.
Absolutely. Ooh, okay. This is gonna be a fun one.
Go ahead.
So
Tell me
Jalen
about.
Brunson,
Yeah.
I think he has fine like we've liked him for a while. We liked him on the Mavericks and everything, and everyone started to notice him more. I mean, I did too, but um, I think he's finally. We said point guard's the hardest position to kind of like rank and everything. I think he finally cracks the S tier. I think he's probably going to be toward the end, but what he did for the Knicks last year and in the playoffs, carrying them on his back, scoring when he needed to, for getting to 40 points if that's what they needed to win. Um, Obviously the only really hole in his game is defense, but even then, like he he plays defense. He's not just like
It's gonna look
a
a lot better
swing
with
door.
Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby next to you. That's for sure.
Exactly. And he has like the people to back him up now. So he's not gonna just stand there and people go around him like a Malik Beasley, you know.
Great clip.
But great clip. But he is, a little bit slow-footed on the defensive end. But what he can do on offense is incredible. The scoring on all three levels, his shooting's incredible. The way his footwork. Can we talk about his footwork? We're gonna talk about
Love
his
his
footwork.
footwork. Pound for
His
pound, the
footwork is
best
so
post
good.
player in the NBA.
I definitely
Pound
in
for
the
pound. Pound for pound. Because the
him
bigger
and
guys are more pounds.
yeah, well, I was gonna say him and Shea like for guards in that post
Oh yeah.
is so like dynamic and like you never know what they're gonna do. I would also throw Luca probably in there, but they are like incredible.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson is an S tier point guard, but
Yeah.
behind Steph Curry.
I agree exactly with the placement, exactly what I was thinking. So important for that Knicks team and their success this season, I think. You know, I think people kind of have the big three in the East as the Celtics, Knicks, and 76ers right now, and Brunson is going to be the driving factor for that Knicks team, especially on offense. Sorry.
I also just do have to say S tier for taking a smaller contract so they
Oh
can
yeah,
get people.
S tier teammate for
Also,
sure.
S tier teammate.
Um, so you can get the guys paid. Yeah, he's super awesome. Love the post game, love the footwork you mentioned. Became a very good shooter as well the last couple of years. Um, just awesome. I mean, he finished like fifth in MVP voting. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
incredible.
S tier. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, his rise from like backing up Luca to taking, when Luca was injured, leading them to like beat the Jazz in one game on that series,
Mhm.
and then, being too expensive and then going to the Knicks and it's his story is pretty cool. I love to
Yeah.
see that. He really proved that he deserves to be in that position. Some people are just given it and he went out there and earned it.
Oh, thank
Now,
God you didn't get this one.
yes, because it would not go well. So
All right, LaMelo Ball. First of all, I this guy got to play. He has to get out there and play more. Said like he's only been in the NBA. What this is going to be his fourth or fifth year, and I feel like he's had 2.5 years worth of injuries. Um,
literally, if not more,
yeah,
honestly, it's
just constantly out. But when he's on the court, he is very talented. Big point guard, 6'6", 6'7". Great playmaker. Shoots more than he should. A little, happy-go-lucky on the trigger finger there, especially from three. Not super efficient. But you can see it, you see it when he's out there. Why the Hornets can give him the ball and just kind of let him roll because there's something there. They just have to kind of take it, I think, and refine it and kind of get the good out of it rather than just the good and the bad, which is I think what they're getting right now. He's a terrible defender for for how tall he is, which is so interesting. Um, yeah, the offensive talent, it's for me, it's similar to like player archetype wise. Obviously, the size is a lot different here, but kind of like a Trey Young, like he unto himself can run an offense of a mediocre Eastern Conference team, and that's about it. And that being said, individually skilled wise, I feel like I have to put him above Suggs and quickly, um, just based on the ceiling. Yeah, it's there. You don't think so?
I don't think
But he
so.
he definitely can't go any higher than that.
I don't.
You're
To
the
me,
LaMelo Ball hater, like maybe the biggest one I know. So
dude, he does not play with passion. Like, I don't see his love for basketball anywhere. I don't see it when he plays basketball. I don't see him when he's off the court, on the court. I'm like, how can his ceiling be reached, his potential be reached if he doesn't care? And that makes me so angry because so many other players wish they had that ceiling, but they just physically, whatever, they don't. And he could be so good, but instead he just decides to like run over children and not care about basketball
only
and
had the same passion for basketball as go-karts.
as go-karts and hitting children. Sorry, running over children, not hitting them, but running their feet are over. Anyways, to me, he can't be above Suggs, and I was like, I can put him in C tier, like right behind them, and then above Tyus Jones and that because I see the ceiling. I do see it. I don't think he'll ever reach it. I don't think he'll graze it. I am the
Has
hater.
been an all-star.
Which I didn't agree with. I think it was so stupid. I hated that. I hated that. Wasn't he a replacement because someone couldn't do it?
Probably.
Yeah, but
It's usually
still,
how
oh
those young
my
guys get their
God.
first one.
I hated that selection. Also, Rookie of the Year, hated that. I really didn't like that.
Career averages: 20 points, 7.4 assists, 6.2 rebounds, 43%. That's pretty inefficient. 37% from three. Four seasons,
Yeah,
184 games. So it's
yeah. So
just
he
that's
played two
barely
years
over half the
basically.
season. Yeah, that's basically two and a little bit seasons. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
the health is definitely a problem, definitely a factor. How many games do you think you played last year?
How many games?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say 12.
22.
Close enough.
Lowest games played for his career. So,
I don't see what so many people see in him.
man, his he is so inefficient.
That's
It is near 40% is rough. That is rough efficiency for sure.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, again, like he could be that great, but I'm gonna say it, he's never gonna be as good as people think. I'm just gonna say it.
yeah, I mean, I definitely don't disagree with that. Um, it's yeah, for me it is like the ceiling is there, but the floor is also like really low. Like the range.
Well, yeah, he walks on that floor every day. You
Nice.
like that? You like that? That's very
Nice.
good.
Very very nice. All
So
right, I'll put
so
him in the C tier and I'll put these other guys in the C tier. I can
okay,
join them.
fine. Fine.
Everyone's in the C. Now we have for the listener, we have Jalen Suggs, Emmanuel quickly above LaMelo Ball in the C tier. So
I appreciate
that's
the
the hill that Dom is dying on. So I'll go with them.
I don't worry. I don't think there's
I mean,
anyone
if he
else
plays
on this.
15 games this season, it's like okay.
Um okay, John Morant.
Grizzles
Thankfully I got a player. Well, we both like John Morant quite a bit. John Morant's one of the
on the court.
craftiest on the court. John Morant is one of the craftiest point guards I've ever seen. His vertical is insane. I saw him like grab an Avery Bradley layup from above like the hoop, like literally above like the top of the score, like not the scoreboard, but like
I forget you
backboard.
saw that in person, which
I
is
saw that
awesome.
in person, and I was right behind the goal, so I saw it was crazy. John Morant had some injury issues the last year, obviously, and he came back, looked really good, and they shut him down because he had to get, they're like, this is the year we're just gonna recuperate. Um,
Predicted.
predicted. You predicted. I will say you predicted that. Good, good. He his scoring is incredible, especially is getting to the hoop. Like nothing's gonna stop him from getting to the hoop, getting up, trying to get a layup, drawing fouls. Not the best shooter from three. He can and will take the shots. Not the best. Defense, he's pretty small, so he's not the best on defense either. But I don't think people talk about it. Also, pretty clutch player. Like
Oh yeah.
when like during the
First game back.
playoffs,
Game
first game
winner.
back, game winner. Yeah. So really like that about his game. And I have some questions because of the injuries and whatnot. But if it wasn't for that, I have no problem putting him in the S tier behind Jalen Brunson. But it's probably A tier in front of Drew Holiday. I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think until we kind of see it back in the court in the full health, I do think the drop to A tier is definitely merited here. We've seen it. We've seen him be, I feel like his second, third year, it was like, is this guy the best point guard in the NBA? And then of course, the last couple of years with the suspensions and then the injury last year that sidelined them for the rest of the season, there's been some question marks. I do think the Grizzlies have a bounce back year. I think Ja will be the leader of that, of course, primary option in this offense. Um, tell you this, if I put Ja Morant on the Kings instead of De'Aaron Fox, it's probably a better team. Um,
Hmm.
what he does for the Celtics would not be what Drew Holiday does, so that's an like impossible comparison to make.
Yeah, I see what you're
And
saying.
I love De'Aaron Fox, but I just think Ja Morant's ceiling is higher. Like
Yeah,
I think De'Aaron Fox is the kind of guy that's going to finish his career as like a 4 or 5 time All-Star, where like I could see Ja finishing as like a 10 to 12 time All-Star.
I see that. So where do you want to put him?
Um,
You think behind Drew Holiday or in front?
so hard.
I'm fine with front because he's literally the primary. He is the go-to guy on the Grizzlies, right? Drew Holiday is like a third option, fourth option,
Drew Holiday looks
but
so strange in this tier.
it is because there's all these young guys and it's like, hey, I'm Drew Holiday and I play defense and I'm 35.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it. You're
All right, time
35
to
and you
make
play
the elite
defense.
role player tier, the Drew Holiday tier in between S
Yeah,
tier and A
his
tier.
own, yeah, literally his own tier. That would be
B just feels,
warranted.
just feels too low.
No, I totally agree
Disrespectful.
though. Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, here we go. Okay,
Um,
easy.
Luka Doncic is the best point guard in the NBA. So he's in the S tier. That's all. That's all. I mean, we can spend a lot of time. We talked about the Mavericks a lot in the finals. He's a fantastic scorer. He's an amazing playmaker. Probably second in the NBA next to Jokic. Averaged over 30 last season. Finished top three in MVP voting. Actually bought in a little bit on defense, I think, this year under Coach J
Literally,
Kidd. So,
literally was about to say
I
that.
mean,
Super
yeah. What
important.
do you want? Like, he's a top three player in the NBA, probably, and has been for the last 5 years, probably. So, like, yeah, he's S tier. The end.
Yeah, he's also the best point guard, shooting guard, and small forward in the NBA.
Yeah,
I was hoping you
man.
spit
How
out
do you
your
GM
water.
a team and you think
Yeah,
Luke is a small forward?
I guess the
Somebody
GMs are
take
probably
his
like the
job.
Wizards GM. No, I have nothing to add. Luka Doncic is the best point guard in the NBA, and he's a big reason why I got back into basketball. So I owe him a lot, and
Luca.
he's super fun to watch. And he's also right behind me. He's right behind me, isn't he?
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have to spend
Um,
too much time on that one for sure.
yeah. It's just too easy.
Now this will be
Oh,
some
now
bullshit.
this is way too easy. What is
You know
this?
who it
Jordan
is?
Poole? Jordan Poole?
No, we did Jordan
No,
Poole last time.
don't tell. I'm not looking.
Um,
Washington Wizards.
while
It's not.
Dominicus thinks, I will chat
Is
here
it,
with the audience. If you have
I was just.
questions, please send them to damon.gibson58@gmail.com and I'll answer your mailbag questions here on the pod.
Oh, I looked and I remembered Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, Brogzilla, as they
Uh,
call him.
I I really really want Malcolm Brogdon to go to a different team because
Why do I think that every year?
I liked him on the Blazers. I liked him a bit, but there's way too many guards on the Blazers, so it's totally fine. I would love for him to be on the Lakers on a vet
Oh,
min.
I'm
I
sure
would
you would.
love
I'm
that.
sure you would like that.
The kind of backup D'Lo, that'd be great because he's what I think what I like most about Malcolm Brogdon is he's pretty reliable. Like he has injury issues, but when he's on the court, like you know what you're getting from him. He's pretty level-headed. He doesn't like I don't remember ever seeing him like get frustrated or like he just plays the game as it needs to. Like I've watching him since he was on the Pacers and um to me, I feel like he's on the older side, but he's like probably like 30, right?
Yeah, around
Not
there, I
like
would
like
say.
he's like maybe one of
He
the
came
older
in
ones
pretty
here.
old.
Yeah, but he's still relatively young. It's just the injury issues that people have. Um,
Former Rookie of the Year,
and
Malcolm Brogdon.
I didn't know he was rookie of the year on the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. Um, I just the Wizards situation is so interesting. I mean, I don't know what his role is there. Is he just gonna show like, hey, I can still hoop? Someone help me, please. Hello,
Get me off this team.
get me off this team. I kind of want to put him like D tier above Tyus Jones.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking that he was probably better than the D tier players. But I was unsure. He doesn't seem like quite the same as the C tier players. So
Yeah, I because this C tier, there's a ceiling there that they're still trying to get to. Whereas Malcolm Brogdon, like you know what you're getting with him. Like
right.
he's not gonna become more than what he is.
Um,
So
yeah,
or
I'm
worse.
definitely fine with that. Malcolm Brogdon, like you said, reliable, veteran, can play make a little bit, can score a little bit, can defend pretty well. I think that was actually his best talent when he came into the NBA. Because out of Virginia, that defensive school I talked about with DeAndre Hunter, I think. Um, but yeah, he's just kind of, he is very average, and that's okay. He's not below
You
average.
need you need that. Teams need that. Like you have.
Can't
Well,
have five all-stars.
I like the like explosiveness of Jordan Poole being on the team, and then you have a level-headed guy like Malcolm Brogdon, but the timelines are just off.
Yeah,
So, you want me to take this one,
you
or you
can
want to
take
take
it.
it?
You can take it.
D'Angelo Russell. So, I've been watching a lot of D'Angelo Russell these last few years because he's on my Lakers,
My
and
Lakers.
I think a lot of people were selling stock on him, and I think they still might. I think he's gonna have a bounce back year because last year was kind of a low point. He is the definition to me of like having flashes of like games where he makes 7 threes and then games where he's like 0 for 9 from three. And I feel like with the Lakers, I saw that all the time. We got him because he can play make, kind of takes the load off of LeBron James, and I think he does it pretty well. I like the threat that he has. Like you have to respect him as a shooter, even though he
Yeah.
can be inefficient. Um, but I wish he bought in more on defense because I feel like the Lakers' identity was so much better
Yeah.
when.
Do you remember what he said in the presser last year?
No, what did he say?
He said, I'm going to be Derek White this season. Remember that?
Well, he wasn't Derek White. No,
Well,
I
it
don't.
wasn't that. So,
He definitely wasn't Derek White. Um, But I still feel like what he does for the Lakers is really important, and that's why he's starting on the team. And there's a lot of rumors that he might get moved, which is totally true. I still don't like it. I still like him as the team that we are. I feel like there is a team with there's a team within this team that can make it back to the Western Conference Finals and push it, but which they made more moves. But we're not talking about the offseason. We're talking about D'Angelo Russell. So he can score and get to the hoop. He turns the ball over a lot. He can be inefficient, really hot and cold. Doesn't play defense that well. There we go. I just wanted to
not even Katy Perry.
not even. So I mean, my bias, I would put him on the back of C tier, but realistically, he's probably like front of D tier for D'Angelo.
D for D'Lo. Yeah, like D'Lo, he had the whole thing last season where the rumors about him being traded, and he looked very sad on the bench, and then he wasn't traded, and then he was shooting and scoring and taunting and getting super hyped and pumped up. So entertaining to watch.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, good offensive player, good third, fourth option on a decent Lakers team last year. Hasn't bought in on defense as much as I think he could and should. I feel like when he was on the Wolves, there was a one, maybe it was not even a year, maybe it was half a year, where like he wasn't a great individual defender, but he was a good communicator. Like he was kind of setting other guys up on defense and making sure people were in the right position. And that just kind of fell off when he went to the Lakers. It's kind of because nobody's holding anybody accountable over there. It's like his third coach in his fourth year as a Laker or whatever.
Well, this is one reason why I like the JJ Redick hiring is because I hope he does instill some of that. Like,
Yeah,
let's pick an identity like we did with Frank Vogel. Like we're defensive minded first,
right.
defense first. So like just pick something, and then if it is just like JJ Redick because he's a shooter, he's like, hey, I want everyone here to be shooting. I'm like, hey, that's a hey, I'll take it. You
Uh,
know, and
right.
D'Lo can shoot. He can make them. So yeah, what do you think about with Tier?
Yeah, I definitely I feel like he's not the same level of player right now as these guys in the C tier. So it's tough for me. I do think the front of D tier is probably pretty accurate.
Thank you. I remember last year we had some debate, but I remember I wanted to put him at A tier or something. So
Dude,
because I
Lakers
mean
bias was crazy last year.
That Western Conference Finals run was
My
pretty
whole team
pretty
is
insane.
awesome.
My hood and your hood team sucks. No, I like.
All right, Portland.
Oh, tell me about Scoot. Scoot?
Scoot. Scoot. I was so hype about Scoot. Thought the Hornets were dumb for not taking him. That has looked bad so far. I'll say that every time we talk about him on this podcast. Because I got to brag about my Grizzlies prediction last year, but I also got to throw out some things that I was wrong about. You got to
We're
keep yourself
human.
humble.
Yeah.
Um, I like Scoot. I still think there's a chance here. It's a funky Portland team. Chauncey Billups in the last year of his contract. I'm interested to see, will he try to win? Because he's on the last year. If he's worried he's going to get fired, if the team's terrible, like it's supposed to be terrible. But as a coach in the last year of your contract, you probably want to try to get the most amount out of your guys. So is he going to lean more on the older guys like Jeremy Grant, DeAndre Ayton, etc.? I'm a little worried about that. I hope that's not the case though. Um, but yeah, Scoot, I really liked him, of course, because one of my favorite players, Russell Westbrook, he's a similar type of player in terms of athletic point guard, not really a shooter, gets to the basket, tries really hard, lots of passion, all the things I like about Westbrook. I saw in Scoot when I watched him in the G League Ignite, and didn't translate his rookie season, unfortunately, pretty inefficient when he was out there on the court. Just not a great year, but that happens, especially at the guard level in the NBA. Probably the hardest position to transition to from the college game as the ball handler, ball dominant guy coming into the NBA with all these veterans. It's going to be a different kind of ball game because in high school often and really in college. you're the guy. Like you're like if you're like a top guy like Scoot was, and he wasn't even in college. He went to the G League. So in high school, he's playing against other 16-year-olds. He's probably destroying them. But then you go into the NBA with grown men who's been here for 10 years, so it's a little different. So, it's an adjustment. I think he will get better. And he wears goggles, that's awesome. Um, all that being said, honestly, I think he's the lowest person we've talked about so far. I think the Blazers are still going to be in a rebuild struggle mode. Um, and that includes Scoot, unfortunately. I want him to be higher, but I just don't think he will. I just think this will be another kind of year of struggle, and it might take him a couple years to really get acclimated to the NBA. So honestly, I'm thinking F tier, which makes me sad, but um, that's kind of where my head's at right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. F tier, but by no means is that because he's a bad basketball player. He's good, but you said like I mean I was there for his I think it was his second NBA game or first NBA game ever.
Yeah,
And it was tough to watch. It made me he had like 6 turnovers and 2 or 4 points. It was like more turnovers than points. And I was nice to see that he's getting opportunity with Portland, which is what I like. If he was on a contender, he's not going to be getting any chance whatsoever. They probably cut him. So it's nice that they,
cut the number 2 pick would be crazy.
no, it would be crazy. It would be crazy. He wouldn't end up anyways. But like it's also like Portland also has to buy in because of that pick. That's how they lost Damian Lillard. So it's like
Yeah,
you gotta like scoot like be who we know you can be and what you were, and
yeah.
work on it. And I think he will. I know he will get better for sure. His ceiling is very interesting. I couldn't tell you where I think he's going to end up. But I think it'll be a better year than last year. The end
Yep.
of last year was pretty good for him, but it's just Portland's expectations are kind of low. So
All right. Moving on.
yes,
I
yes,
have
we
two now,
are.
right? Because you had
You talked. You,
you had Lakers and you had the one before that, right? Brogdon or whatever.
yeah, 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 yeah. So you go.
All right. Thunder, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. People think he's gonna win MVP. We'll get there when we talk about our rankings and awards and conference standings and stuff like that. But I do think he is extremely talented. Finished top 5 MVP last year. Probably the best one-on-one scorer in the NBA right now. Gets to his spots, kind of unstoppable. Pretty good playmaker. Young leader of that Thunder team that finished the number 1 seed and likely will do it again. He's S tier behind Luca.
S tier behind Luca.
Yeah,
Interesting. I probably agree with that, but it's just so weird to see Steph not there.
that's exactly what we had last year with Luca, Shea, Steph.
Okay, probably. I bet if we went back and ran the tapes, I probably said the exact same thing that I'm saying now. But it's true. I mean, there's a reason why the Thunder were the first seed and the Warriors weren't even in the playoffs. So, yeah, Shea is definitely in the S tier. Um, I think Luca will get MVP, but we'll talk about that later.
We will talk about it later.
I'm literally gonna every year for the rest of my life and be like, Luca's gonna get
Dude,
MVP.
I've been thinking it's gonna happen for 3 years.
I
Hasn't
know, and
happened
I'm
yet.
I'm still gonna write it. You want to take this one because this is one of your guys.
This is one of
You
my
know,
guys. I'll take it. I have a shirt somewhere.
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, take it.
All right, Tyrese Halliburton, Indiana Pacers. I love Tyrese Halliburton. Great playmaker, led the league in assists last season. Good at getting to his spots. Ugliest jump shot I've ever seen, but he makes it somehow. Definitely struggled in that playoff series against the Celtics, kind of getting just physically bullied because he is very slight in his build. Drew Holiday forced him to dribble out of bounds in overtime or whatever. Um, his defense is atrocious. He's a very, very bad defender. Um, very bad. Like his defense is so bad. I hate it. I wish he was better at it. But no, he's a great scorer, great distributor. Like I said, number 1 offense in the NBA last season. The Pacers were so. He's definitely for me an A tier point guard. I would say, yeah, I'd probably put him above De'Aaron Fox.
Interesting.
Think about him being an all-star starter last year, and De'Aaron didn't even make the team. So
Yeah, it's that, and I mean, like, the defense really gets to me, and also like I think about his injuries. Like he was out for a bit of
yeah,
last year as
injuries
well.
were tough.
And but he is really the engine that drives the Pacers. Without him, they'd still be good, but definitely not as good. And yeah, the way he distributes the ball is Really great to see. He plays with passion. He has fun. He plays hard. He's going to continue that. He got a taste of the Eastern Conference Finals. He wants to go back. The top where the Pacers are is going to be pretty competitive. They're going to be right there fighting. I can agree with that above De'Aaron Fox in the A tier.
All right. Remember the pass off the backboard to what is it, Siakam for three or whatever? That was a crazy
I
play.
didn't like that, but I get
It was a
it.
Kobe Bryant did the same thing.
I didn't like it when he did either.
Uh, sure. Tell me about
Yeah.
Christopher Emmanuel Paul.
Oh, thank God. I was like, if it's Trey Jones, I have nothing. I don't know what to say. Okay, Chris Paul. So Chris Paul, yeah, I can talk about Chris Paul. He's old.
41, I think.
Uh, he's doing old, but he is going to be good for the Spurs. I like that he's good. He's a level-headed point guard. Injuries galore, as is the story of his NBA career,
Sadly.
and sadly, that's just how it is sometimes. And good playmaker. He gets to his spot in the mid-range, makes it almost every time. It's like, why even try to defend that shot? Um, on the Spurs, a different change of scenery. I think he's going to kind of have like not a rebirth, not like when he went to the Thunder and the Thunder were like in the playoffs and contending and everything.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be similar-ish to where like the Spurs they're not going to make the play in or anything, but they will, give teams a run for their money. I think Chris Paul is going to be a big part of that. I'm just worried like how many minutes is he going to be able to play? Um, how long can he play with these young guys? Is he going to be out there? Him and Harrison Barnes are going to be with Canes, while everyone else is just like running around them in circles. So it's tough because we're ranking how they're going to be next year, not like their overall. Because overall, like he's one of the best point guards that have played the game for sure. Um, but I probably would want to put him like I'd say in front of Tyus Jones in the D tier.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that. He is sadly fallen down here on this list. Um, he's going to be a good playmaker, good locker room guy. He's going to help develop those young guys over there in San Antonio for sure. But yeah, his talent-wise, his age, where he's at, his regression. Um, I would agree with this. I'm wondering, like, is old man Chris Paul better than old man Mike Conley? I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I feel like Mike Conley can still really get out there and like play.
I think Mike Conley actually, maybe Chris Paul's behind Mike Conley.
Yeah, I just want, yeah, that or I was like, is Mike Conley too low? Like, should he be the one that moves up
Yeah,
in front of him?
let's move Mike Conley for sure. I like that.
Have the
He's
old
still
men right next to each other.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I definitely see the line of demarcation here though for like Brogdon. He does feel definitely better than like all these guys for sure.
Yeah, I like that. We're good at this. We're really good at this.
We do this.
We out here.
All right, the Clippers. It's still you because I had three in a row.
Oh my
So,
God, you're
uh,
right. Oh, I thought about James Harden.
I had three in a row, which means this should be I think you only get two in a row, right? Because you had two in a row, and then I was gonna have two, but I had three, so now
So I
you
have
have
to do
two.
two more.
No, I think
Or
it's just this, and then we're good.
I have to talk about James Harden.
You
Fine.
have to. I'm
James
sorry.
Harden is just another one of these guys where I just he he could be really good, but he just doesn't play with like a love for the game anymore. I don't know if I never really saw him play with a passion. So I just when
Arden
I got out of
hater.
basketball, um, he he will be the reason why I think I will probably give him more than I think is deserved is because Kawhi is already going to be out at the beginning of the season. So it's like who else is going to be able to play basketball competently with the Clippers? And like they have a good team ish, but James Harden's definitely the guy they're going to be looking up to. Um, but like he could still shoot, he could still play make. He is not as good as he was. He can play defense. I know people will talk about how like he defended Luca in the playoffs. But it's like, come
Ooh.
on.
Come on.
Okay, he
Come
got
on.
one block on him. And also
Come on,
Luca
son.
literally I know I sound like my dad. And also Luca wasn't also playing because he had like five fouls. So people they take a lot of things out of context. from that game. Um, just because of what he was and what he could be, I would say C tier behind LaMelo Ball. And trust me, I don't even want to put him behind LaMelo Ball, but
That's
I'm like,
low. That's low. That's low. Look, I don't like James Harden. My Rockets tenure with James Harden was not good. I was happy when he was gone. But as much as silly as Harden Ball was at media day, saying like I'm going to be Luca, what other option do they have? What else can the team do? They don't got anybody over there. No Paul George, no Kawhi. He's going to be out for the start of the season. And it's just role players galore, Terrence Mann, Zubac, whatever. None of those guys are running the offense. So I think Harden's just going to have to not have a bounce back. I don't think he's not going to be like an all-star or anything, but I feel like he's going to be the engine of the Clippers. What that engine amounts to, I'm not sure. But I think he'll be important. I was thinking the B tier. That's what I was thinking. And
I know
I don't
you.
like James Harden. I don't like him.
I know, and I knew you were thinking B tier, but it just seems too high because I look at everyone in C tier and I'm like, I could see the argument for LaMelo Ball, which is funny to say. Um, but I feel like
Well, I also thought LaMelo Ball was going to be in the B tier, but so that's a different
I
conversation.
can't that I James Harden the B tier I can accept for sure
Okay,
because he's shown what he can do. You know what I mean? Like, and also
sure.
he plays bass. He plays.
He
It's
does.
crazy.
He's out there.
Fine, throw him in the B tier. I'm not happy about it, but throw him in the B tier.
Look, you put James Harden in the Magic, they're going crazy with the shooting. They're loving what's happening. He doesn't have to play defense. They have everyone else on their team does that. All right.
All
Fisteds,
right.
Cade Cunningham. Every year, I think it's going to be the year that Cade Cunningham has the jump, and every year it doesn't happen. Um, the talent's there. He's a big playmaking guard. You love to see that. That's very similar to the Luca archetype, and it works really well for him. He can't shoot like Luca, and Luca hasn't always been an efficient shooter. Luca shoots a lot. He hasn't always been good at it. Um, but Cade is definitely not a good shooter. Good playmaker. Good, kind of offensive generator. Does have a little bit of a turnover issue. So he's not an amazing passer per se. He just kind of runs the offense in a way that I think could work. I see the vision. I see why he was drafted number one overall. It just hasn't clicked yet. And it could be him. I think it's probably more just the people around him, what they got going on in Detroit. He hasn't had enough to help him fulfill that vision as a playmaker. Um, his scoring has gotten better though. Um, Ceiling is high, definitely higher than the C tier people. I mean, sorry, the D tier people. Um, so I think he belongs somewhere in the C tier, but I'm not sure where.
So I would put him in C tier above LaMelo Ball,
Right.
but you'll probably I mean, putting him behind LaMelo Ball, I'm fine with. I think this is gonna be a better year because he has
Cade.
spacing.
I'm buying it again. 3 years in a row, Cade.
Let's
Come
do it.
on.
Let's buy him. No. I think well, he has better shooting around him this year, even though it is the likes of Tobias Harris,
Bias.
Tim Hardaway
Malik.
Jr., and Malik Beasley.
It's,
But
it's like
it's
three
still better than it.
hilarious. That is three hilarious players shooting
I
for
know.
all
That's
different
why
reasons.
Pistons are must-watch basketball. Okay,
Like
you're gonna get
Mal
Tim Hardaway Jr. hitting the backboard. You're gonna get Malik Beasley not moving on defense. You get Tobias Harris playing 40 minutes, scoring 0 points. That is must-watch basketball.
Yeah,
I'm
for
saying it
sure.
here. I'm buying into watching Detroit Pistons basketball. And then Kate Ham's like, why isn't anyone doing anything? You see Jalen Duren just going, oh, like going crazy on the boards and stuff. And
Why
he's
did you
like,
draft these people that don't do anything?
it's crazy. But at least it got Ron Holland.
Yeah, he can't
Anyways,
shoot.
I know. That's what I'm
Uh,
saying.
back to
Ooh, all
you.
right. Back to you in the studio.
I didn't
Jamal
remove it.
Murray for
God
the
damn
Denver
it.
Nuggets.
Yeah, go ahead.
What have you done?
I just didn't
Oh,
remove the
excuse me.
team, and I don't know how to fix that. But I'll just spin the wheel
Uh,
again. If it lands on me again, I'll remove it. Go ahead.
yeah, that's totally fine. Jamal Murray, very good point guard. Who would have thought?
You like him a lot.
He no, I wouldn't say
Okay.
that. Because he had two buzzer beaters against the Lakers, so I can't like him a
That's
lot.
fair.
But he is a very
Traumatized
good
me.
traumatized. Very good NBA player. Fits really well with the Nuggets. They wouldn't have won the championship without him, even though Jokic is who he is. There was a reason why they didn't win until he was healthy. Has some issue. Like he also is a player that can be on and or off, like hot
Has
and
some
cold.
issues.
Well, yeah, has he can be a hot or cold, but definitely
Right.
more hot than cold. But there were some playoff games where he just, I mean, against the even like against the Timberwolves, like the first two games in that series, they just shut him down.
Yep.
So if there's a really good defense, he is kind of screwed. But he's a very talented scorer. He's a fine defender. Doesn't really he can play make, but he's not like a Jokic playmaker. Doesn't like a rebounder. Not really a threat like that. But he can get to the hoop, can make the mid range shots. He can also shoot the three. Jamal Murray is a very good point guard. I would say A tier confidently, but where in the A tier? Maybe in front of Darren Fox.
Okay. Uh, Something you did mention about Jamal Murray, very clutch. You didn't mention the buzzer beaters, but just
There's a
obviously,
reason why I didn't want to. No, I'm kidding.
but he is a very clutch player, very good for that Nuggets team. He's kind of their closer, also with Jokic. Zero time All-Star Jamal Murray. And for that reason, I'd put him at the top of B tier. I can't put him in A tier yet. I don't think he's better than any of those guys.
Again, another reason why. Oh, you know why LaMelo Ball? Because he was in the East. That's why. I was like, why did Jamal Murray not get it instead of
Yeah,
him?
yeah,
That
that
makes
is why.
sense.
But no, I just think, I think if you put a Maxey with the Jokic or the De'Aaron Fox with the Jokic, I feel like it's even better than how it has been, maybe.
That's
Um,
fine. Put him in front of. It's fine. I don't like the
yeah, I
guy.
just don't like the A tier feels like the ceiling too is even higher. Like the jumps are still there. I feel like Jamal Murray has kind of plateaued as where he's going to be in his NBA career.
Yeah,
I don't
I
feel
s-
like he's going to get even better than he is currently. Whereas these
I
other
s-
guys, I can see it.
I still think he's like an A tier player, but the situation and like what is happening, like just what let's say the NBA, I'm fine with beat. You know what I mean? Like,
B tier, Jamal Murray. All right, Brooklyn Nets. I'm here to talk about you, Dennis Schroeder. Um, that's the starting point guard over there. And the Nets, fascinating team. Dennis Schroeder, Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton. That's a great bench five, except that's
yeah,
starting
literally,
five.
their start is crazy.
So sad days, Brooklyn. Dennis Schroeder, he's a good defender, hard-nosed defender. I think kind of an underrated part of his career. Pretty good scorer as well. Um, that's really about it. He's been fine throughout his career. Looking at our list here, for me, he's right in like the Brogdon D'Lo range, D tier probably.
Yeah, I because of his like it's weird because like for someone who's been so good, he's really jumped around a lot, like from team to
Yeah,
team, and I loved it when the Lakers
bet on
got
himself with
him.
the Lakers, and that really backfired.
Yeah, kind of glad we didn't he didn't take that deal. So, we just would have gotten out of it. So, yeah, I would say probably who would I rather have on my team, Malcolm Brogdon or Dennis Schroeder? That's tough.
Mhm.
Um, I'd probably say Dennis Schroeder.
Say one of them's not injured as much.
Yeah, yeah. I also like his hard-nosed defense. Gotta love that.
Hard-nosed defense.
Can't shoot as well though.
Tell me about Mr. Clockman.
The clock, Damian Lillard. This is gonna be an interesting year.
Yeah,
Uh, for Damian Lillard, obviously a name that everyone knows. He is one of the best 3-point shooters of all time. Very clutch. Uh, Never really bought into defense. He is who he is. Went to the last year was his first year with the Bucks, and he unfortunately had like injuries, and then Giannis was injured, so the playoffs, everything just kind of like just fell apart. Hopefully he's healthy this year. A healthy Damian Lillard is very scary. He still had buzzer beaters last year, so he can still play basketball really, really well.
yeah,
Last year I think we had him in the S tier. I want to put him in
sure
the
did.
S tier, but I feel like he's like top at A tier just because of
Uh, Honestly, I gotta tell you, with the year he had last year, the age, the lesser role with Giannis as his co-star. When I first saw his name, I thought B tier. I'll be real with you. Which I know is low. It's very low. B tier for a guy like Damian Lillard. Um, I just think like Ja, Halliburton, Fox, Maxey, I could all see having better years, more impactful years for their teams than Damian Lillard, which I know is a crazy thing to say. But we can meet in the middle somewhere in A tier for sure.
I feel like he'll surprise. Like I feel like last year we were shooting a little too high. It's because we had he's going to be the same old Dame he's been, right?
Yeah,
Um, Never really had a Giannis to play with. I think they're going to make the fit better. Also, you're going to have a coach that's going to be with you from the beginning, not just like leave in the middle.
it's like I think
Um,
who's more likely to be an all-star starter, Tyrese Maxey or Damian Lillard in the East?
Probably Damian Lillard.
Think so? I don't know.
Just because the name, dude.
The
That's
name
not,
value.
I'm
The
not
name
saying he
value is part
deserves
of it.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
who's more
I'm not.
deserving? That's a different question.
Yeah, totally different, but name. Like I would say, like we just put him on the back of A tier, but then it also feels weird. It's like,
Where do you want to put him?
um, back of A tier, back of A tier.
Okay. Drew Holiday is feeling still mightily strange there in the tier with these other guys. He's just such a unique player.
But he got to make his own tier for
Yeah,
him.
that's what it literally is what like my brain is telling me to do. Okay, thank God I got this guy. Uh
Yeah, tell me
Darius
about him.
Garland. Man, I was so high on him last year and he really let me down. Has
It's
made an
okay.
all-star game. Check. Unlike Jamal Murray, still has that over him. It's because Jamal Murray's in the West.
So
That's really the
I
only reason.
know it's so
Uh,
weird.
but it was a weird year last year. He had like broke his face. Yeah, he had like a jaw surgery. His jaw was locked.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Like,
about that.
I mean, it's a tough year when that happens. But no, talented playmaker. I think going to be important for the Cavs' success if they decide to keep him on the team with Donovan Mitchell. They're going to have to learn how to work together. Definitely not as high on him because of the weird year last year. That was a tough little four-letter or four-word thing there. I would put him in the B tier below Jamal Murray.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think he will have a bounce back year for sure.
Yeah, I think.
Um,
Yeah, yeah. I concede though.
and
You win. Jamal Murray's better. You win. You win. I lose.
you think I wanted this? You think I want the man who killed my Lakers twice? You think I want him here? You think I want to look at his face right there at the top of picture? No, I like Darius Garland. I like him a lot. He's a good NBA player. Him and Donovan Mitchell are such an interesting backcourt. But
Yeah,
healthy, they can be really scary offensively. Defense is what you have to kind of. Are you gonna add it?
I can't do it. It's hurting me.
Just added Drew Holiday. Is that what
All
I
right, for the listener, I added A tier, B tier that just
I
says
realized
Drew
it was
Holiday question mark because he just doesn't feel like the other guys in A tier are so different. I don't know.
well, I it's so funny because he definitely fits in the B tier, but he's better. He's more important than everyone on the B tier for their team. I feel like he plays a role like he's on a contender. They're gonna and he fits into that so
Doesn't
perfectly.
this feel better?
I'm cool with it. I love this for us.
You're
I
like,
love
whatever,
that,
man. Do
dude.
whatever, man.
I don't care. No, I'm kidding.
Like, shut
I
up. Come on. I'm
Dude,
trying to go to
let's
sleep, man.
go.
Come
No, I would no. I like when we just kind of take creative liberty
Yeah.
with it. So is it me? Is it DeJounte?
Yes, yes. To both of those.
DeJounte Murray. So it's gonna be a first year on the Pelicans. Kind of made a name for himself on the Spurs as being a like very good defensive minded guard. Went to the Hawks, and it was still good. It died down a little bit, but he needs the ball in his hands. That's why him and Trae Young didn't really work out as well as you would have thought. With one really good offensive, one defense, really good defensive guard. The Pelicans, this opportunity is going to be great. I like the fit a lot. They got to get rid of Brandon Ingram. That's just the last thing they need to
Please.
do. And get a center, any center. That's not Daniel Tice.
Or Yeeves Missy. Don't forget about him.
I have and I will.
Okay.
Um, Thank you though. No, but Johnny Murray is an interesting one because I feel like I feel like he could. So just to go over what he can do, he can play make pretty well, better than some most guards. He's a very good scorer, pretty clutch. People don't talk about that. Had some game winners last year. Still a very good defender. Maybe not the best. Like I don't think he's the best 3-point shooter. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel
He's
like he's
gotten better.
average.
He's gotten better. He
Yeah,
used to be like not at all. He's gotten him
he's a
up.
threat.
Started
You
playing with Trey Young,
respect
and he
it.
said, "Oh, okay, we can just shoot around here, huh?"
Yeah,
So,
so he's a threat behind the arc for sure, but he's not like you're not on him like you are like Steph Curry or Trey
yeah.
Young or anything like that. So I want to put him probably at the front of B tier.
Okay. I was thinking B tier for sure. Hopefully he buys back on defense in the New Orleans system. I think him and Herb Jones, that can be some nasty defense other teams have to deal with if he's bought
Yeah.
back in. Especially because their front court defense is currently non-existent with Zion and Daniel Tice, so they're definitely going to need some help in that regard. Uh, yeah, he definitely grew as a playmaker, a primary scoring option once he made that All-Star team in San Antonio. The defense, I think, kind of got lost. Hopefully, again, like I said, it comes back. I was thinking B tier. Originally I was thinking I was trying to decide in between Jamal Murray and Darius Garland or behind Darius Garland. So, um, saying in front of Jamal Murray is interesting to me.
I would. What do you say in front of Darius Garland?
Okay, sold for what?
Yeah. My biggest question mark with DeJounte Murray is there's so many scorers now. You got CJ, you got Zion, Brandon Ingram, and now DeJounte.
Right.
So just a bit tough. Please take it away.
The Rockets. We have Fred VanVleet. He is a good NBA player. He made an All-Star game once. He's a champion. He's good for our guys. This is case in point, people. You can be a good defender even when you're 6 feet tall, because Fred VanVleet does it. He's a little bulkier. He's not quite as slight as some of our other 6 foot guards in the league. Um, but it's just the effort is there, and you like to see that. By no means do I think he'll be an incredible, fabulous player or anything this year. Um, for me, he doesn't have quite the ceiling of the guys on the C tier. I do like him though more than anyone on the D tier, I think. I think I would rather have him.
Fred Van Fleet here. No,
So
I'm
I'm fine
kidding.
with either back a C, front a D. The potential isn't there for me for the C tier, Um, but
Can
yeah.
I suggest something?
Do you want a D plus tier? So we're
No. I'm gonna suggest Fred Van Fleet, front of D tier, Giddy, Keontae George down to F tier.
oh, goodbye. I was
It
like,
just
yeah,
feels like there's a good there's a you can see like a good it's like there's obviously like young players who have potential but aren't quite there yet. And there's like players who've been around, and there's some older guys in there, but like very good at what they do role.
the
And even
the
Fred Van Fleet looks a bit weird in this tier, but he's not C. Like C has that ceiling. Like they
right.
are still growing. Yeah.
We not going five on every tier in this one. Doesn't look like it,
No,
huh?
absolutely. Uh
Miami.
Terry Rozier. Okay, this is an interesting one. I didn't watch a lot of him on the Heat. I know it was a bit of a letdown. They got rid of
Yeah.
quite a bit of stuff to get him, and then he got injured almost immediately. But with Thierry Rozier, when he's at his best, he is a quick scorer. He's also clutch, has been in the past. He's older. Something you have to think about and this Heat team. I hope he's healthy. If he's healthy, um, does he play defense? I don't
Yes,
know.
he was a hard-nosed, I've used that word already this pod,
Hard
defender on the
nosed.
Celtics.
So,
When in his first kind of stint, and then he lost a little bit in Charlotte because Lord knows what the hell is going on in Charlotte. Um,
yeah.
but he can defend. A good 6 foot guard that is slight, but a good defender. So, you know,
Yeah, just because of the reliability
there's not a lot
and
he can do as a 6 footer though.
yeah, because of the reliability and like I probably want to put him in D tier above Malcolm Brogdon, but like you probably watched him a lot more than me. Like I just haven't seen a lot of what he can do. And I just don't I have a lot of question marks about his
D tier
health.
above Malcolm Brogdon. Are you kidding me? I was thinking D tier above Dennis Schroeder. So really close to where you were.
Okay,
Because the
I'm fine with
scoring
that.
is underrated. That guy almost averaged 20 on the Hornets. Somehow. I don't know how. I don't know who's letting him
Someone had to
score.
score.
But yeah, you basically said everything there is to say. Um, Hopefully a better year with the Heat this year. That's another team I think hard to predict how they're going to do.
You can put him in front of Dennis. Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
All right, last but certainly least, Trey Young.
Yeah,
One of
where do you want to put him?
probably one of our least favorites in the NBA. You know, just the no defense, the offense is pick and roll, lob, pick and roll, floater. Okay, this is exhausting to watch.
Yeah.
And not like a LeBron or Luka playmaker where it feels like he's making the teammates better. Just feels like it's Trey Young ball all the time. And though he is a good passer and can make assists, just like it doesn't feel like he's setting his guys up per se. It's more like, oh my God, my pick and roll game is a disaster, and now I must kick the ball out. Um, but for me, I feel like B tier in between Garland and Harden. That's kind of what I was thinking
I'm totally fine with that. I think that's a good place for him. I was thinking B tier too. Um,
over there.
yeah, you know what's crazy is I think I'm starting to like Trey Young more
Interesting.
than when I first because I think it seems like he's seen I think he's become more humble because he's like after that Eastern Conference Finals run, he was kind of like, yeah, I am
I'm
like
him.
we can play the game my way and we're gonna
Hasn't
be
hasn't
great
been
every
back.
time and it just hasn't been back
Yeah,
and I would hope that that's kind of like I haven't seen anything otherwise so to me I think like it's humbled him a bit but I don't know I just don't know
that's
so
fair.
we'll see
Yeah, I'm,
I'm
I'm
projecting a bit
good with that.
but yeah so this is do we see any changes should we just go line by line
Have
that's
you seen his
everybody.
beard?
Yeah, I think that's another reason why I'm like maybe he's like I'm just
Going into
gonna try to
his
look
old
more
man phase
mature.
already.
Yeah, I know. I'm like he's giving up already.
Yeah, let's go line by line. Do you want to start us off?
Sure. S tier, we got Luka Doncic, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Steph Curry, and Jalen Brunson. I
In
like
the
that.
A tier, we have John Morant, Tyrese Halliburton, De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Maxey, and Damian Lillard.
How do you feel?
I feel good. Feels good. I like it. I'm okay with it.
Um,
Are you good
Next
with
year,
it?
Drew
Are you good?
Holiday. Oh yeah, I am good with it. I know Damian Lillard feels a bit weird, but I am gonna buy stock
Yeah, I mean,
in
I don't think he's gonna have a bad season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I understand why you.
Looking at the guys we ended up with in B tier, I think I'm fine with this A tier placement.
Okay, yeah, and I get it. I think he'll bounce back a little bit from last year. It was a bit tough.
Yeah.
Um, Next tier is a in between A and B. I'll say A minus tier.
Okay.
Drew Holiday, because he's so important to the Celtics, and but he's just better than the people in the B tier. But he's not like doesn't have that potential as A because he is what he is.
Yeah, and his role is a lot different than these other guys above him.
Yeah. You want me to do the next tier too, since that was a little
Yeah,
mixed.
yeah, go ahead.
B tier, we got Jamal Murray, DeJounte Murray. Oh,
I
didn't notice that.
Murray's.
Murray's Darius Garland, Trey Young, and James Harden.
Yeah. C tier, Jalen Suggs, Emmanuel Quickly, Cade Cunningham, LaMelo Ball.
I hate it. It is what it is, though. That's fine. D tier, Fred VanVleet, D'Angelo Russell, Terry Rozier, Dennis Schroeder, Malcolm Brogdon, Mike Conley, Chris Paul, Tyus Jones. Chris Paul is
And then,
so
of
funny.
course,
That's so funny.
wrapping up the F tier, Josh Giddey, Keontae George, Scoot Henderson.
Worst point guard in the NBA, but still a very
Starting
good NBA player.
starting point guard. Okay.
Starting point guard. Yeah.
Don't, not the worst point guard. Campaign is out there somewhere. Um,
He's in the Knicks. You know that?
I just took a random shot at campaign for no reason.
Yeah. I was like, damn,
I
man.
like you, campaign. You're just the first
Yeah.
backup point
He
guard I
took it
thought of.
straight. He took it straight. Yeah, no, I like this. It's a fun list. I like how we're not trying to be constricted by, format. We're just
I forgot how to download it. It's right here. It's a giant button.
yeah. And can you do
Um,
me a favor? So maybe tonight, tomorrow, whenever, email me all of the ones we did this year and I will average them and I will put a number. I will tell you quantitatively who we think the best starting lineups are in the league.
yeah, I mean, I can do it too if you want, but if you want to
No,
do it,
it was my idea. I kind of want to do it.
okay,
I'll find time at work.
it's a good
Did
idea.
I say that? Did I say it on the pod? I mean, I'll do it after work.
I'll do.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, well, that's fun. I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this one's more smooth than last year.
Yeah, I think it went pretty smooth. I think we had good back and forth chemistry. Like you said, more creative freedom. We didn't restrict ourselves to like, oh, we have to have this many people. It's just what looked right, what felt right in our hearts, and that's what matters
And also, we've watched more basketball since.
for
Like,
sure.
I think last year a lot of the time I was like, I don't really know this guy that much,
You're like,
you know.
who?
And it's like, and I couldn't even recognize some of the guys, you know. So,
I do remember that. That's
yeah,
funny.
you know. So I, at least for on my part, like I'm a bit more proud that I
Oh yeah,
know more
definitely
and
less
I watch more
disagreements
basketball.
this year. We only had like
Yeah,
maybe one or two per episode.
yeah, and those are fun. Those are more fun than anything. It's like you can really tell
Yeah, we're not going to
like
get
these hills that
combative
will
on this
die on.
podcast. Like, how fucking
No,
dare you think
yeah,
on
it's
that
like
team?
too bad. We're really good friends. We're like best friends. Too bad. So sad.
Pod's over.
Pod's
We're done.
over. I'm done. I'm
Well, welcome
quitting.
to the last episode of.
Yeah, 54. Who would have thought we made it this far? Anyways, I just wanted to thank everybody for hanging around, sticking around for all the five positions we went through.
All of them.
Um, all of
All of
them.
them.
We appreciate it, and thanks for listening, sharing it, and all of that jazz.
Next
What are we
time.
gonna do next? Jerseys? Are we gonna do
I think next
standings?
time we should do standings and awards before the season gets underway.
Okay.
Our predictions, who's going to win what awards, and predict a 1 to 15 each conference, that
Yeah,
sort of
and
thing.
I will say I like that. And I will say I want to do jerseys, but before we do that, I want to see what because I didn't like the Lakers one at all, but then I saw the full jersey and I was like,
Yeah,
okay, it's a lot better. Like the full
better
uniform.
looking at it on a
It's a,
person than a leaked image of
yeah,
it.
exactly. So I think maybe we can hold that off till we get to see what it looks
Sure.
like on
Yeah,
people.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Um, okay, cool.
You're hearing the pod planning happening in real time. Uh,
Yeah, we could stop the pod, but we're not gonna. Okay, but now we are.
when
Damon, please take your shot. Shoot your shot. Oh, I didn't even see it. You missed it though, I think.
I missed, I hit the corner
I
right
saw
there.
I literally I looked down, I looked up and I saw you hit the corner like the corner yeah,
Yeah,
the corner right over there. Right over there. Right over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, this was super fun. Thanks again for listening. This has been Two Man Game with Damon and Dom.
Buckets, and I'll throw a second buckets because I listened to the last episode and I cut out, so you didn't even hear it. So here's the second buckets for that.